The following is a presentation of WNWS.com.
Friday, and that's the day when all these high school football games.
Football!
High school football.
Come on, bring it!
You are listening and watching Peabody Football here on WNWS.com, brought to you by Premier Dental, Master Fit Medical Supply, Outback Steakhouse, Anderson Furniture and Floor Covering, Trenton Medical Clinic, The Hughes Eye Group, Sonic of Jackson, King Jewelers and Watch Repair, Rock'n'Roll Pizza, LA Realty, Eddie's Pharmacy, Raspberry Tire and Service Center, Phelan Essence Insurance, Hickerson Automotive Group, and Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness. Welcome to Walter Kilzer Stadium, home of the Class AA Region 7 Peabody Golden Tide, and welcome to Homecoming 2018 and your 6-0 Peabody Golden Tide, sitting on top of the Region 7 AA standings at 2-0. Gibson County comes in with a 5-1 record and a 2-0 regional record. TCA's in third place. We play them on the 20th. They're 2-0 in the region, 3-2 overall. Then on the 28th, we go to Adamsville. They're 0-2 and 3-3. Halls is 0-2, 2-4. We've played them. Union City 0-1 in the region and 1-4 overall. And our next opponent after the bye week is McKenzie at 0-5. Now tonight, TCA's at Union City, McKenzie's at Halls, and Adamsville has an open date. And right now, it's time for us to hear from our color commentary. That's right. He's celebrating a birthday today. He's also celebrating homecoming. And it had to be pretty special, Lee Hayes, when homecoming is on your birthday.
Well, it is special. It's a special day because it's under the Friday night lights, Drew. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's good to be back with you, and a good night for football. I can't think of any other way that I'd rather spend a birthday night than watching some high school football.
Well, on behalf of Johnny Johnson, who's doing our camera work, he is with Worthy Road Studios. And Johnny, thank you for the great shots. Happy birthday, Larry.
Thank you. I'm not getting older, and I'm just getting older and older. I'm not getting older and better. I'm just getting older and older. But that does beat the alternative, so it's good to see another one.
Well, it's good to see another week with you in Peabody football. And Lee, why don't you tell us about the state rankings? I know you keep a close eye on that.
Well, you know, Drew, and look at this. This is amazing. Folks, if you're familiar with where Walter Kilzer Stadium is here on the bypass in Trenton, it's been a long time since we've seen a line of cars as we're seeing coming into the stadium tonight. This place is going to be packed. There's a lot of excitement for Gibson County football, and, of course, they're having an outstanding season, so that is very much deserved. And I hear that the crowd, the cars are backed up to the north on 45 bypass, all the way past the Mile and Highway intersection, which is, and now it's backed up for a little bit to the south. Also, Trenton Police Department up there directing traffic, trying to get everyone in safely. The visitor stands are filling up across the way. Peabody stands are filling up. It's homecoming week, as you talked about. A lot of people are here. Class reunions coming in. The Peabody High School Alumni Association had their meeting and get-together this evening before the game. So it's a lot of excitement around a homecoming football game, and Peabody is no different. They had a lot of special days during the course of the week that students participated in activities, scheduled some things that for the evenings for the community that got rained out. Hey, you know, this is the first time since I saw you last Friday that it hadn't rained on a day. It's rained every day since last Friday.
Well, hopefully we'll bring some clear skies. 70 degrees outside. Lee, I tell you what, no better color scheme in any level of football than black and gold, and I saw it in evidence today when I was coming into town. Black and gold, but even though it's a festive occasion, there's sort of a serious business mode in the stands and in Peabody right now.
It really is, and it's easy for a Steelers fan to say that black and gold color scheme, but yeah, that's a good color scheme. I will say this, Drew, I was out on the field before the game. With as much rain as we've had, the field has taken it very well. It's going to be soft in some spots, but the crown is going to be in good shape between the hash marks on the sidelines. As you get closer to the numbers, it's going to be some soft spots there. So footing may be an issue. I'll say this: people that have seen these two teams and talk about these two teams say that Peabody has more speed, that a wet field will affect them more. We'll just have to see, because I don't think that the part of the field that Gibson County is going to be running on is going to be any drier than the part that Peabody is running on. So it's going to slow both teams down a little bit from the numbers to the sideline, but I don't think it's going to be an issue in the middle of the field going forward. A lot of excitement. The last time that Gibson County defeated Peabody, you got to go way back. 1994 is the last time that Gibson County won a game against Peabody. That was by a final score of 26-12. But there were several years in there that Peabody and Gibson County didn't play, and that choice was made, and so there were no games there for a few years. But now we're regional opponents, so the game, it's more than just a backyard brawl now. It means something in the region, and when you talk about the region, you got three teams atop region 7 2A standings. Trinity Christian is going to Union City tonight, and Union City trying to get on track, and then you've got these two meetings. So when you take the backyard brawl aspect of it, the friends and family that are involved in both schools, and you put the importance of this ball game together, here's the crowd that you've got coming in on that 45 bypass, and all you can see to the north is headlights trying to turn in and people trying to find places to park. So wonderful facilities, and it's a full house here tonight, Drew.
Well, as you brought up the region record, Peabody 2-0, 6-1 overall, Gibson County 2-0, and that is the tone. That is the serious tone that I pick up. Very serious vibe. Even though it's festive, it's homecoming, you got some people taking this game very seriously. Very seriously.
Well, with good cause. Gibson County has won 4 games in a row, and the last several years they've really struggled. They've got a new coach that is in his 3rd season. Cody Finley has come back home. He's at Gibson County, graduated I think in the mid to late 80s. Played football at Gibson County, coached in Middle Tennessee. He came home 3 years ago, and he's really done a good job with this program. And these kids from Trenton and Gibson County, they've played baseball against each other for years. They've played football against each other. They're friends. They fight over the same girls. They play the same sports with each other and against each other. So it's a good rivalry. But Cody has really done a tremendous job over there at Gibson County. They were pretty much the last winning season they had was 1995. They finished 6-5. And their last playoff appearance was 2000 with a record of 3-8, where they lost in the first round. They had a 37-game losing streak from 2000 to 2004, had a 47-game losing streak from 2008 to 2013, but this is a different football team.
Well, streaks are made to be broken. It's been 24 years since Gibson County's gotten a win over Peabody. And, their coach has got to be telling them that. And their program on the rise, and they are in the backyard of the big dog in the region. So that's going to get their fired up just a little bit more. And the only weakness I've seen out of Peabody these past 4 weeks is just an increase in penalties. Slight increase every game, just a little bit more. And that would be the only weakness. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, as far as penalties, you can throw last week's penalties out the window. Yeah. That was just a bad situation, and if you joined us on Facebook Live after the game, there was some explanation given by Coach Jacobs about some things that happened between the teams. So we throw that out as far as penalties. Just thankfully cooler heads prevailed, and nobody got thrown out of the game, and because they would have to be sitting out this week also. But it's remarkable to me, and I've been here my whole life and been around Peabody football for all of my adult life. I don't know that I've seen a Gibson County and Peabody game with the significance that this game carries tonight.
A lot of intensity out there. A lot of intensity.
It really is, and the community has embraced that this week. Peabody had country themes, and students dressed in country attire and hillbilly, and Gibson County came in this week to ride the wave, and they asked their students to wear beach attire, and they've got a good student section over there. So it's all good, clean fun. and it's really been a good week. A lot of excitement building up to these Friday night lights.
Well, it's the Pioneer and the Golden Tide, and when we come back, Lee's going to have your keys to victory. You are watching Peabody football right here on WNWS.com. We'll be back right after these very, and I do mean very, important words.
Go Tide from Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness in Trenton. At Dynamics, our mission is to be the bright spot in our customers' day while pursuing excellence in healthcare and service. We can help you with physical therapy treatment programs for things like post-surgical rehab, rotator cuff dysfunction, TMJ dysfunction, joint and back neck pains. We specialize in sports medicine for on-site medical coverage for sporting events, comprehensive injury management, communication with athletes and parents, coaches and physicians, as well as 24-hour on-call access to professional staff. We have a 24-hour full-service health clubs specializing in group fitness classes, cutting-edge equipment, and training advice. Dynamics also provides free injury assessments, complimentary injury and pain screenings, providing treatment options and care coordination as well. And evaluations are done by licensed provider. Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness, 126 Davy Crockett Mall. Call 855-2221 for Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness.
And we are back live from Walter Kilzer Stadium. And Lee, keys of the game.
Well, one thing, and before we get into each team's keys to the game, Drew, I think this is going to be very important. Some things that I noticed on film about Gibson County. We've talked at length in the Peabody broadcast about how strong a kicking game that Peabody has. Isaiah Hicks has done an exceptional job on the extra points, not tried any field goals. Bryce Franks has done a good job in punts. He hadn't had to punt much,
no,
but he's done a good job. But his placement on kickoffs, he's done tremendous with that. But Gibson County has come in, and their kicking game has really struggled. So they've started going for two after every touchdown instead of extra points. So it'll be interesting to see if it's a close game, if that affects the thinking, having to go for 2 points. And then their kickoffs, they can't get any height on their kickoffs. Everything is low-line drives or on the ground. Those things are good sometimes because you get more roll. But if you kick it right at somebody, your kickoff coverage team doesn't have time to get downfield.
Right.
So if Peabody catches it clean, they can be off to the races. So we're going to keep an eye on the kicking game of both teams as far as tonight's ball game is concerned. For Gibson County, first thing I think they want to do, Drew, is shorten the game. Halls last week, they used all of the 30-second play clock to shorten the game some, and I think Gibson County would be well served to do that. We've talked about it every week. The opponent needs some long, sustained drive to keep the ball out of Gibson County's hands. And then to keep it away from their offense, they've got to grind it. They've been scoring on big plays all year. Gibson County has. I've been watching some film on them this year. They've got a lot of speed at some skill positions, and a lot of their touchdowns have been by big plays. They're going to have some long, time-consuming drives in this ball game, I think, because I don't think they're going to be able to come up with as many big plays against this Peabody defense as they have in some of their earlier games. Defensively, they can't give up the big plays. We've talked about Peabody's weapons and how many weapons they have. They've got to create some turnovers. Peabody has not had a turnover in their last 3 games. They've had 1 in their last 5 games, so that's pretty impressive in itself. But Gibson County is going to have to create some turnovers. They've got to stay fundamentally sound. Their linemen, their defensive linemen, do a good job keeping the offensive linemen of the opponent off of the linebackers, and they let their linebackers make the plays, and that's the leading tacklers on the team. They've got to continue to do that, play defensively sound to against this Peabody offense. And then something that we talked about, and the people in Gibson County and Trenton talked about all week, ride the wave. Number 3 is ride the wave. They've had a super season to this point, very successful. The team and the fans are pumped up. They've got to continue that tonight. They've got to bring that momentum. They've got to bring that excitement to the field tonight. And they've got to play salty. They've got to play with some energy. But if things don't go wrong, they can't get down.
Right.
They've got to put that behind them and go forward from there. For Peabody, I think the biggest thing is an egg toss. They got to keep throwing goose eggs for them to win. This defense has not allowed a single point at home this season.
No.
So they've had 4 shutouts at home by big scores, and they're going for number 5 shutout on the season tonight. We talked about Gibson County's speed. Peabody is going to have to eliminate the big plays that Gibson County has had in some of their earlier games. Peabody offensively, they've got a lot of weapons to choose from. They can choose those weapons, whether it's throwing the ball to Halbrook or running the ball to Halbrook on sweeps. You've got Jarrell Dixon, who is tough up the middle, and you've got Jacquez Wilkins, who is quick to the edge and can outrun everybody. And then you've got some other sure-handed receivers in Hammonds and Parks. And you know, those guys have done a tremendous job. So Cooper Bogus, he's a huge weapon. Dual threat quarterback. He can run play option very well. They've got some design plays for him to run up the middle, so he's going to use his legs a lot tonight, but he's a very accurate passer also. He's only missed on 3 passes in the last 3 ball games, and thrown 9 touchdowns on the season with 1 interception, so that's pretty good numbers in itself. And Peabody tonight, they go into fall break next week with an open date next Friday night. They just need to keep this momentum going that they're on right now.
Focus and concentrate. They're not done yet. You know, it's not time to take a rest yet. Well, right now we'd like to thank Premier Dental Center. They say roll tide. 3 locations in Bells, Jackson, and Milan. Master Fit Medical Supplies, a leading supplier of medical equipment for over 20 years. Proud to bring you Peabody football on WNWS.com. Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness of Trenton, proud supporters of the Golden Tide. And they say, good luck, guys. We're behind you no matter what. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Hickerson Automotive Group, home of the Napa Legend batteries, Trenton's Napa Auto Parts store, and you can ensure a win with Phelan Estes Insurance Agency, your independent insurance dealer of Trenton. And, of course, make your house a home with Anderson Furniture and floor covering. The Hughes, the Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. Well, they've already done the Peabody Walk. They've had the coin toss.
Making his first start tonight as a sophomore, number 21, Jadarian Easley.
And Jadarian Easley filling in for the injured
Number 10,
Cortland Wade.
Yeah, Cortland was shaken up in the Halls game, shoulder injury, and then he aggravated again last week. He tried to go against Dresden, aggravated it, so he's going to be held out tonight.
The PA announcer calling over the defensive starters: Jasper Albee, Osiris Wilson, Braxton Johnson, Jace C. Eubanks, Bryce Franks, Jarrell Dixon, also Jacquez Wilkins, who is out, and Jadarian Easley is filling in for him. Also, we have Eli Hammonds, the junior, Quay Parks, the senior, and Isaiah Jackson are all starters on defense. And I take it that the Pioneers won the coin toss.
They did, and Pioneers will receive to start this ball game, Drew. We're less than a minute away from kickoff, and this is what it's all about, man. I'm telling you.
I tell you.
You get crosstown rivals.
Yeah.
You know, 5 miles separates the 2 schools. You got family, friends, people work together. You look across the way, it's by far the biggest crowd, and here comes the Tide out onto the field, led by the American flag, carried by Desmond Tyler.
And of course, you can just see the run out, the atmosphere. You know, Lee, this is my 4th game doing Peabody football, and I haven't felt the intensity as I feel it right now. I mean, I feel something big is going to happen. Well, I feel an excitement in the air.
And it is. It's a good time. And we've talked about Peabody and the run that they're in and athletes and the success of the program. And there's some great expectations for this football team. Gibson County had expectations for their season. I don't know that they really thought at this point that they would be 5-1, but here they are. 6-0, 5-1, Peabody kicking off to Gibson County. And it's time to play ball, Drew.
Peyton Lamberson is in he's set to receive, and I can't make out the number of the other deep back for the Pioneers, but Bryce Franks is ready to kick off, and he's a great directional kicker. He can place that ball right there inside the 10-yard line. He's had a lot of practice kicking off this year.
Well, he has. A lot of touchdowns that Peabody has scored. during the course of this season, and you know, they're averaging about 7 touchdowns a ball game. So yeah, Bryce has done a great job kicking off.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 12 minutes to go, and it's 7:30, and it's kickoff at Peabody. Deep kick fielded by Gibson County at the 2-yard line, and their receiver makes it out to a 30 to a 25-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at their 25-yard line.
Great job there by Gibson County. They didn't try and get to the corner and outrun Peabody. They took it right up the middle. That was Bryce Franks getting down after the kickoff and making the stop. And Gibson County is going to start it off at the 26-yard line.
And Gibson County, you're right, they just followed a wall of blockers on that kick return. And right now, here you go. We got a looks like a shotgun set. Takes a snap, throws out to the flat, and overthrows his wide receiver. Little bubble screen. Yeah, when it works, but when it don't, oh man, it makes you want to scratch your head.
Well, they're going to throw that a lot. Peyton Lamberson, the quarterback, has done a good job. He's had a good year. He simply overthrew his defender or his receiver there. Good coverage by Peabody, and Peabody's going to try and get some pressure on Lamberson also, make him get rid of the ball quicker than he wants to.
4-3 defense by Peabody. Shotgun formation, hands off to the back, and the back goes around the corner, and he is stuffed. Man, he was just about decapitated on the play for Peabody. It looks like it was number 25 out there, number 25. Or I'm trying to find number 21. And that's Jadarian Easley, which is a stop.
Jadarian getting his first start of the season. He's in for the injured Cortland Wade. Jadarian only a sophomore. That 23, that's Ozzie Rico. That's the running back for Gibson County who's put up big numbers. Good job by Peabody not letting him get to the edge. He's got a lot of speed, and if he gets to the edge, he's tough to catch.
Ozzie Rico to the right of the quarterback in shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers, drop backs, look, pass, throws, and right in the hands of a Peabody tie player, and that is number 10, Quay Parks, who almost had another interception. It brings up 4th and 11 with 11 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, that slant has been open a couple of times with some previous teams, and Gibson County goes to it that time. Just an early throw there by Lamberson.
Well, now we've got a punt. Gibson County, not how they want to start out their first drive. There's a snap, and there's the punt, and it's a short punt. Bounces at the 49-yard line of Gibson County. So it's going to be 1st and 10 as Peabody and that offensive unit coming out. Point a minute, they call it. Point a minute. The Peabody offense. And it is a wave.
And they're gonna run and shoot. You know, they like to get back to the line of scrimmage and get the next play run, and they like to just pound at you. And they've got a lot of weapons, a lot of speed, and they've got some power up front. It's just a fun offense to watch and a very good offense.
Bogus shotgun formation, bunch to the right with 3 wide receivers, 1 to the left, and Bogus sees his man and hits him. First down, the quick strike. As that is number 7, number 1, Eli Hammonds.
Yeah, nice job there by Cooper. He stayed in the pocket, found Hammonds open across the middle on that slant, and one-on-one coverage, and Cooper laid it right in the breadbasket, and Hammonds came up with a big catch.
I'll get these numbers right. We've got Hammonds closest to us, number 1, Eli Hammonds closest to us. Bogus hands the ball off to number 4, who bumbles and stumbles, and he bulls his way for another 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6, 10:20 to go in the first quarter, and number 1, Eli Hammonds, he is the receiver closest to us, and number 7, Noah Holbrook, is on the far side of the field. In the slot, we have number 23, Josh Parks. Number 6, Jasper Albee. Am I seeing that right, Lee?
Jasper Albee?
Wow.
Correct.
Peabody takes a timeout.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we were running there. They had looked like a diamond up there on the visitor sideline. So they wanted to call a timeout. They didn't like what they saw.
All right, the Trenton Medical Clinic, your hometown health provider, bringing you Tide football on WNWS. Rock and Dough Pizza featuring a Saturday and Sunday brunch. Rock out with Rock and Dough Pizza. King Jewelers and Watch Repair in Jackson. You can find them on Facebook. And for residential and commercial real estate, contact Ed Norman in Trenton. Check out their listings at larealty.com. Eddie's Pharmacy, serving the Trenton and Gibson area for 35 years. And they say roll Tide. Ask them about their medication synchronization, and your prescriptions will be ready when you are all the time. Sonic, 6 locations in Jackson. And, of course, Raspberry Tire and Service Center, proud supporter of the Tide. Raspberry Wrecker Service, 1 call, and you're hooked. Well, now, we are back in action right now. And we've got number 23 out there, Josh Parks. And is that number 7 next closest to us, number 7? Noah Hallbrook goes to the slant, and it is just a nice little quick pitch out. And that's another completion to number 4, Jarrell Dixon.
When you take
Dixon comes up limping.
Well, when you take Dixon and he's as effective as he is running the ball, and then he can catch the ball out of the backfield, it's really a weapon to have. And that time, Bogus hit him in stride for a nice pickup and another first down for Peabody. Their second of this drive.
Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers, 1 man in motion. Hands it off to the man in motion who goes around the corner, and he is tackled, and he is stuffed, and that was number 7, Hallbrook, on the carry for Peabody. And that play, a rare loss of yards on that play.
Well, and that's Remington Green on the stop for Gibson County. These Gibson County front 4, they're going to try and fight these blockers off for Peabody and let the Gibson County linebackers roam the field. And that time they did a good Green with the stop. That's a play that has gotten a lot of positive yardage for Peabody, and that time Gibson County played it very well.
8:50 to go in the first quarter, 0-0 score. Bogus takes the handoff. And fumble! And Bogus picks it up, and wow! He handed it off to number 8, Jacquez Wilkins, and we've got a rare fumble on the play.
Yeah, Jacquez just didn't secure the ball. He got hit at the line of scrimmage. Give the Gibson County defense a lot of credit there. Jacquez wasn't going anywhere, and he was popped pretty good, lost the ball. Cooper Bogus with a heads-up play to recover. Lost a couple of yards, but they did retain possession.
Big test right now, 3rd and 11 at Gibson County's 17-yard line. 5 wide receivers, 4 to the right, 1 to the left. Bogus looks, voids the rush. Oh, look out. He's going to try to turn, pass. Ball goes up, and it is batted down.
Nice defensive play by the Gibson County Pioneers at that point. They got some pressure on Bogus, chased him out of the pocket, made him throw on the run, and we've talked about his ability to do that. Cooper couldn't find anybody open. He threw it downfield, and really not an open receiver there. Gibson County with a nice defensive play to knock it away.
Number 2, Adam Smithson on the deflection, and we've got a penalty. No flag, but it is 4th and 11. Now, you got a pretty good kicker out there. What are you going to do? They're going to go for it.
I think they're out of field goal range for Isaiah. The young man has done an exceptional job, but I don't think you put him in this situation in a 0-0 ball game. You know, you're inside the 20-yard line. You go for it here. I know it's 4th and 11, but if you go for it, you're still putting Gibson County starting their possession inside the 20-yard line. So I agree with this call 100%.
All right, you both have number 1, Hammonds, and number 7, Hallbrook on the same side. 3 wide receivers back in the backfield. Bogus takes the snap. He looks, feels the pressure. He's going to run it, tucks the ball down, makes it to the 10, to the 5. 3 will get you 6 every time. And Cooper Bogus with a touchdown.
That's a great job by Cooper Bogus. Good pressure by Gibson County defense. Chase Cooper out of the pocket. They're going to have to put somebody, some eyes on him. They're going to have to keep somebody in and we've talked about his dual threat abilities, and that time he pulled it down, no open receivers. He pulled it down and ran it in for a
there's a penalty on the play. Wow. Gibson County busted through that offensive line, so yes, it has to be holding. And right now you can hear the Gibson County crowd. 7:51. This is going to be 4th and very long on the play, and this might bring up a punting situation, Lee.
Well, yeah, I think so, and I think we're going to see a different punter here. Bryce Franks has been battling some injuries all year. We finally saw him healthy last week, 100%, I felt like, and then he aggravated some injuries. So Cooper Bogus is doing the punting tonight instead of Bryce Franks.
Bogus takes the snap, punts the ball, and it's a good directional punt as the ball rolls and takes a Peabody bounce with 2 at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I think I would have punted in that situation too and nailed him back at the 2-yard line, Drew.
With that defense, 7:44 here on WNWS.com. And so far, we're not used to this, Lee. It's 7:44 to go in the game, and there's no score.
Gibson County's defense very salty on that first drive. Very good job. They put pressure on the quarterback. They did a good job containing Jarrell Dixon. They got a pop on Jacquez and caused a fumble from him. And their secondary was excellent in coverage, not giving Bogus any open receivers to throw to.
Well, here we go. 1st and 10 at the 2-yard line. Gibson County quarterback keeps it, and he makes it out to the 10-yard line, to the 15, and to the 18-yard line. That's a 16-yard gain on the play as he got around the corner. And Parks on the tackle for Peabody. And wow, that's defense.
That's Lamberson, a nice fake there. Lamberson, the quarterback, with a nice fake to Ozzie Rico, and he is a weapon with his legs also. He's rushed for 443 yards on the season and scored 10 touchdowns. So he's been effective with rushing and passing as a quarterback for Gibson County.
1st and 10, here we go. Gibson snaps the ball, hands it off to the running back who bulls his way to about the 24-yard line, and that's a 7-yard gain on the play, and that is Ozzie Rico on the carry.
Ozzie again, their leading rusher last season. He's having another good year this year. He's over 700 yards for the season. He scored 5 touchdowns. A lot of quickness. If he gets to that second line of defense, he can be gone.
Hard man to bring down, but right now it is 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Mark the ball at the 23-yard line. Tight formation, shotgun snap, hands it off to Ozzie again, who battles and fights his way, and it's going to be 3rd and short as he makes about a 4-yard gain,
He's going to be right at it. He did get the first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Gibson County out at the 29-yard line.
Gibson County right now proving to be a pretty tough opponent, and they brought the crowd with them.
We knew that this was going to be a good ball game. We knew that Gibson County is a lot better football team, and they've come to play ball tonight. They didn't hide from this ball game nor the big aspects of this game.
Lamberson hands the ball off to Ozzie, and wow, that Peabody line answered the call as they are led by number 78, and that is Braxton Johnson, the nose tackle.
That's our Panda.
Man, I'll tell you what, he's just a sophomore. He's going to be terrorizing West Tennessee for a couple of more years.
Yeah, and got a lot of help there from Bryce Franks also.
All right, brings up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 30-yard line of Gibson County. So far they've moved the ball 28 yards, started at their 2-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers out to the left, 1 man in the slot. Ozzie in the backfield, hands it off to Ozzie. Quarterback keeps it, and Lamberson keeps the ball and just falls forward for about a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 7.
Another good job there on the play fake. You got Ozzie Rico coming around in the backfield, and Lamberson is really carrying out the play fakes well, and Peabody's defense is biting on it, and that's what you're trying to do if Gibson County is get some guys to chase Rico without the ball. And Lamberson busted up the middle. That time picked up 3 yards, bringing up 3rd down and 6 for the Pioneers.
In the backfield for the Pioneers, we have Hayden McGuire, number 31, and Ozzie Rico, number 23, and of course your quarterback, Peyton Lamberson. And now they come to the line of scrimmage. Lamberson takes a snap. He's going to roll out. He sees a Peabody uniform. He tries to avoid it. He's still on his feet, and he is hit. And he is brought down, and who brings him down, Lee?
That's a nice job. Jasper Albee chased him out of the pocket, did a good job putting pressure on Lamberson, and from his linebacker position, Jarrell Dixon comes up with a stop. He's done it on both sides of the ball all year. That's a big stop there on 3rd down and 6 for loss of 5.
Nice contain on the play, too. 4th and 11, and now Gibson County, they got to go back to the drawing board on offense as they are going to punt. High punt, nice punt. Makes it to the 42-yard line, bounces and to the 44. So Peabody, with 3:50 to go in the first quarter, is going to have the ball back again at their own 45-yard line, 55 yards away from a touchdown. So far, we've had a touchdown and had it called back. Other than that, it's been a pretty good, I'd call it a defensive struggle.
Well, it has, and both defenses are playing well. These are explosive offense, both of them. You watch film on these two teams, and a lot of their scores have been by the big play all year long. And that's a key to the ball game tonight is not letting the opponent come up with big plays on offense. And so far, both defenses have done that very well.
Hallbrook in the slot, Bogus in shotgun. Looks, throws to Hallbrook. Hallbrook tries to set up the screen, and he is brought down. No gain on the play.
Actually going to lose 2 yards.
And he is brought down by number 1, Colin Warren of Gibson County, who has been all over the field so far tonight. 3:31 to go. And so far, Gibson County, the only one this year that has been able to stop this Peabody offense.
Well, they're doing a good job so far, Drew. They've shut down these weapons of Peabody. They're playing the run well, the pass well. That time, just nowhere to go after the reception.
Shotgun formation, number 6 in motion. Hands it off to number 4, and he is stopped. And you have Albee in the backfield as the up back. And, of course, number 4, Dixon, he is stopped again. And it brings up 3rd and a short 12.
You can stop Jarrell Dixon for no gain. You've done something
yes.
there. And Gibson County doing very good. Their front 4 getting some good push against this offensive line for Peabody. And then their linebackers are coming in, filling in the holes, and doing a tremendous job. Brings up 3rd down for the Tide.
Bogus right now has got 3 wide receivers to his right. Rolls out, and he slips. He just slipped down, and it brings up 4th and very long. And Bogus having a rough time tonight. Been under pressure all night long. Has not been able to sit.
The key to it, Drew, has been as big and as strong as this Peabody offensive line is. These front defensive linemen for Gibson County, they're very quick off the ball, and they're beating the Peabody Golden Tide offensive line to the holes, and they're getting to Bogus, putting a lot of pressure on him. That time they lost yardage on the sack.
4th and 18, Bogus back to punt. 1:54 in counting in the first quarter. Bogus gets the snap. Line drive punt, and it takes a Peabody roll, and it's going to be 1st and 32 for Gibson County. And I don't know, this Peabody offense is sort of like a 1972 Pontiac Catalina I had. When it gets to running, it runs great, but sometimes, especially tonight, it's just won't turn over.
You got to give all the credit in the world tonight to this Gibson County defense. They're doing an outstanding job. They're beating up front. They're beating Peabody on the offensive front there. Secondary is playing exceptional well. Their linebackers are doing well against the run game. Right now, they're just bringing it to Peabody on the defensive side of the ball. They've got to get something going offensively.
In the backfield for the Pioneers, Rico Lamberson, and of course we have Mac McGuire, and a handoff to Rico, and Rico gets nowhere. This is just going to be who can hit who the hardest in this first quarter with 1:35 and counting.
Lamberson actually pulled that away and took it. Peabody defense did a great job getting to the edge, sealing that off, stopping Lamberson for no gain there.
Definitely setting up a defensive struggle as both defenses right now are stopping the other offense.
Well, we knew that Peabody's defense was this good. I personally didn't know that Gibson County's defense was this good.
All right, shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. Lamberson calls out the signal, takes the snap, hands it off to Rico, and Rico is stuffed. Man, I mean, he was met right in that hole by is that number 8 out there?
6. That's
number
Jasper
6.
Albee.
Jasper Albee. He was met right there in the hole, right at the 35-yard line.
You know, Jasper does a good job there. Jasper missed all of his junior year last year with a knee injury. Came back this year, worked hard in the summer to be able to get back on the field, and I think he's really just now getting back to his stride that we saw in his sophomore year. He was a leading tackler in his sophomore season before missing last year, and we're really just now starting to see Jasper get back to what he was in his sophomore season.
Lamberson brings Pioneers back up to the ball. 3rd and 9. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers, 2 backs. Lamberson drops back to pass. He looks, he throws, hits his receiver for a first down. And I do believe that is number 1, Colin Warren.
Great job there by Colin Warren. After the reception, he was about 2 yards short. He realized he was short of the first down. Didn't try and outrun the defender. He turned it up hard-nosed and ran right at the safety, picked up the first down for the Pioneers.
And we've got a timeout. Or is that the end of the first quarter?
No, timeout. Oh, it is. Man, I tell you. Wow, this has flown by. Is it not?
It is, and we're going to keep it right here. Dynamic Physical Therapy and Fitness of Trenton, proud supporters of the Golden Tide. Also, Premier Dental Center, they say roll tide. 3 locations in Bells, Jackson, and Milan. Happy homecoming from the good folks at Master Fit Medical Supplies. They're a leading supplier of medical equipment for over 20 years. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Hickerson Automotive Group, home of the Napa Legend batteries, Trenton's Auto Parts Store, and you can insure a win with Baylor Ness's Insurance Agency, your independent insurance dealer of Trenton. And don't forget, make your house a home with Anderson Furniture and Floor Covering. And don't forget the Hughes Eye Group. See better, see the Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. Your Trenton Medical Clinic, your hometown health provider, and of course, Rockin' Dough Pizza, featuring a Saturday and Sunday brunch. Rock out with Rockin' Dough. And we resume play in the second quarter as Lamberton hands off to his back, Rico, and Rico tries to go around the corner and gains just a short amount of yards.
That's Caden Wiley coming across from his slot position there. So Wiley picked up 3 yards there. Yeah, Rico, and we talked about the field being a little bit muddy. We're starting to see some mud but on the numbers here, so they may get harder to see as the night goes along.
Oh, yes, and getting muddy, and we don't need these numbers getting any harder for me to see.
Yeah, these coaches have got to get more contrasting numbers. We went to Union City, and you couldn't see those numbers at all, and these are tough to see, too, from Gibson County from a high atop our perch.
Lamberton keeps the ball as he fakes the handoff, and he just gets swallowed up by Eubanks, and that is number 50, J.C. Eubanks, on the tackles. He just swallowed up Lamberton.
JC, a senior, he's had an outstanding season. He's one of the leading tacklers for this Peabody defense from his defensive end position. Drew, I think that Gibson County at some point, they're going to have to be able to throw the ball. They may break a big play at some point tonight, but they're not going to be able to grind against this Peabody defense, I don't think.
Shotgun formation. Rico in the backfield with Lamberton. Lamberton takes a snap, looks, throws, and his receiver got the ball in his hands, number 10, but he let go, and that is Dante Holder. Dante Holder
well,
was unable to hold on.
That's just a drop pass. He was there for the first down on 3rd and 6 and just couldn't catch the pass, so Peabody's going to get it back. The opportunity here for Peabody to pin, for Gibson County, to pin Peabody deep into their own territory with a good kick.
All right, Peabody right now is going to get another chance on offense. 0-0, 10:33 left to go in the second quarter, and that's a nice high punt, and it's a fair catch called for, and it takes a Peabody roll at about the 22-yard line. Man, that was a good punt.
It was a good punt, a lot of height. It didn't have a whole lot of distance, so it worked out for about a 25-yard punt. A lot of pressure there by J.D. Easley coming off the edge, so the punter really had to rush and get that one away, but he did a good job. And Gibson County, from It hasn't been a big play, but Gibson County has flipped the field. They've got Peabody starting back deep in their own territory now at the 22-yard line.
All right, 78 yards away from pay dirt for Gibson County. We got 3 wide receivers. Number 7 closest to us. Albee in motion. Bogus hands it off to number 4, who's trying to go around the corner, and he is stopped. He's run down as Dixon tried to make it around the left side, and looks like he was stopped by number 21, and that is Noah Stafford.
Noah Stafford, one of the leading tacklers for this Pioneer football team, did a great job there. We talked about the speed of their linebackers, and that's a nice job by Noah Stafford to get out and make the stop on Jarrell. Pickup of 1 yard for Dixon on that play.
And Peabody right now coming back up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and about 8-9 yards. 2nd and 9. Shotgun formation. 4 wide receivers. Bogus drops back. Heaves the ball up in the air and just out of the reach of number 7. And that is Hallbrook. Just out of the reach of Hallbrook. Oh, man, if that would have connected, we would have had a big play.
Nice defense there by Will Cantrell as he was running in stride with Noah Hallbrook. I can imagine that those two were having some kind of running commentary through there.
Yeah.
They've played baseball together for years, so they're friends on and off the field. So they're probably going back and forth even while they're running routes here, and Will Cantrell on the coverage.
Josh Parks and Hallbrook on the same side of the field. Hallbrook in the slot. And 9:40 to go. Clock is stopped due to the incomplete pass. 3 wide receivers on the right side of Bogus. Albee in motion, goes to the left side of the line, takes the end position. Bogus rolls out. He's looking, he throws. He's got a receiver. Oh!
Threw in the double coverage. Hammonds was double covered there, and Bogus overthrew, and I really think that he overthrew on purpose. Hammonds tried to get to it, break away from the defenders, but it was just slightly overthrown. Drew, that's going to bring up another 4th down for Peabody. This time they're punting from deep in their own territory.
He had number 23, was by himself, Josh Parks, but Bogus has not had time tonight to set. He's been under pressure even when he rolls out to try to get room. He's constantly running.
The quickness of the defensive line for Gibson County really putting a lot of pressure on Cooper.
All right, Bogus right now punts the ball. Lots of hang time. Takes a Pioneer roll, and now the Pioneers have got a short field to work with.
We talked about they flipped the field, and so that's exactly what's done. They held Peabody down deep in their own territory, and now they get the ball at midfield with the opportunity to do something. Drew, we talked in the pregame. Our keys to the game: keep the clock moving, keep the time moving. And I hate to use this analogy, and I don't mean anything in negative connotation towards Gibson County, but you know when you leave something laying around, you're going to trip over it.
Yes.
In talking with Coach Finley before the game, he wants to get his team to the 4th quarter, and anything can happen. And by golly, Gibson County is doing a super job here in the first half.
9:23 to go. Lamberton hands it off to his back. His back busts through the line and gets a 5-yard gain, Lee. And I do believe that was number 23, Ozzie Rico, with a good 5-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 5, 9-11. You got to wonder, though, how long can O'Brien keep up this momentum? How long can he keep this pressure up? Peabody's just got to settle down and wait for their opening.
Well, Ozzie was the leading rusher last year for Gibson County, over 1,000 yards, 5-yard pickup there. He's tough to bring down. He's not very big, but he's very strong in the legs, and that time he drug a defender a couple of yards.
Lamberton takes a snap, fakes the handoff, keeps the ball himself, makes it out to 35 to the 36, and is finally brought down at the 38-yard line by number 86, and that is Bryce Franks, the linebacker, making the stop on that play.
Nice job by Bryce from his linebacker position, getting out there and in position to make the stop. They picked up 4 yards on first down, 2 yards on second down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4. At some point, Drew, Gibson County is going to have to come up with a play on 3rd down to keep some of these drives alive.
Oh, yes, their 3rd down conversion has not been good tonight. Lamberton in a shotgun formation. Rico in the backfield with him. Tight formation. Pistol formation. And hands it off to Rico. And Rico bows ahead. And like you said, just only gets a 2-yard gain, so it's going to be 4th and about a long 2 yards.
That's a good spot. Rico fighting to pick up 2 yards there. That's going to bring up 4th and 2, as you said, from the 41-yard line. And I don't think there's any question here. You punt it here and try and pin Peabody deep in their own territory once again.
7:35 to go. So far, Gibson County got a lot of confidence in that defense.
But you better put a body on Jadarian Easley right here. He's been getting a lot of pressure on the punter as they don't rush this time, just as I say that.
And a nice kick, a nice punt, and that ball on that wet ground just hit the ground and stopped. And now Peabody starts at their 3-yard line.
Well, we talked early in the pregame about the kicking games and how it may be a factor in the ball game. Both punters have done an exceptional job. August filling in for Franks tonight, and Gibson County now both punters have dropped one inside the 5-yard line here in the first half.
7 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Your score 0-0, and we got 7:15 in the second quarter. And this has been a big test for Peabody so far. They are definitely being tested tonight, wouldn't you say?
Well, and we knew that Gibson County was going to come in here ready to play. And Cody has done an exceptional job. We talked about him and where he has gotten this program. We're going to have a time out here on the field as the officials talking about some things. I think it's a play clock. Milan friends, I don't think it's a scoreboard clock they're working on. I think it's the play clock that they're having an issue with. So I got to bite my tongue there. But, yeah, we knew that Gibson County was going to come in. They brought a big crowd, great expectations for this football team, and very deserved expectations with the season that they've had and the success that they've had in the first half of the season. And I tell you, nobody on that side of the field has been disappointed in the effort from this Gibson County football team. They have just stone cold Peabody's offense in this first half.
They have, and everybody is lined up around the fences. You got Peabody, you see silver and blue, you see black and gold all along the fences.
It's as big a crowd as I've seen, maybe with the exception of Milan a few years ago when Milan came here to open the season.
Bogus takes a snap and hands it off to Dixon, and Dixon is stuffed. And I don't even think he gained a yard on that play. And you got a very interesting formation. You've got Hammonds and Hallbrook on the right side of the field, the big side, closest to us. And you got to think maybe they're going to go with number 7 in the slot.
Well, they actually lost a yard on that. Second and 11 for Peabody.
At the 2-yard line, Bogus right now, he keeps the ball and he tries to turn it up.
He's lucky he got out of the end zone.
Yes, he is.
That's a hit. I tell you what, folks, this Gibson County defense has come to play, and they've stonewalled this Peabody offense. Great job there by the linebackers. We talked about the abilities of Cooper Bogus to take it and run on the run-pass option or on design plays. That time Gibson County was there to stop him and for no gain. So you got 3rd and 11 for Peabody deep in their own territory.
All right, here's a big play, one of the biggest plays of the game, especially if you are on defense for Gibson County. 3rd and 11 at the Peabody 2-yard line. Bogus takes a snap. He drops back. He looks. He throws. Intercepted. My stars, intercepted at the 43-yard line by number 3, and that is Cameron McMacken, if I'm probably not pronouncing that name right.
Oh, that is correct.
But, man, Bogus just threw that ball up. Bogus, for the first time tonight, has been able to set, but that was just great coverage.
It was. Big defensive play by Gibson County there and a big defensive stand. But let me throw this out there. You've got Bogus, who has been filling in punting for Bryce Franks. He just threw that ball up for grabs. That's as good as any punt that we would have gotten right there.
Definitely. You're right about that, and we didn't get sacked in the end zone, no safety. Here we go. Lamberton, pistol formation, takes a snap, hands it off to Rico, and Rico twists, turns, bulls his way, Rico's getting some hard yards tonight, number 23. He's getting some hard yards. He's working for every yard.
He's very quick. He hasn't gotten through to the second line of defense of Peabody. He's got some powerful legs. You've got to wrap up, and you've got to hit him low, and sometimes you need some help. He's not been able to break free, but he's getting some hard yards up the middle. That time picked up 3.
Ball set at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 6, 5:24 and counting to go in the first half, ladies and gentlemen, and it's 0-0. All right. Pistol formation. Lamberton drops back, throws, completed pass, missed tackle on the play, and oh man, number 3, Cameron McMacken with the reception brings up first down.
Nice job by Easley there to make the stop. Parks went for the interception and couldn't get there. Instead of playing the defender, he played the ball. But Jadarian Easley filling in for Cortland Wade there with the stop. But for Gibson County, they pick up the first down. That slant pass is going to be open. It's been open several times throughout the course of the season against this Peabody defense, and Gibson County takes advantage of it there with the first down.
Lamberton drops back, takes a snap. He's looking, he moves up, he throws into double coverage, overthrows his wide receiver.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there by Peabody, good on Lamberson, and he just threw that one away. He overthrew everyone out of the back of the end zone. He knew that he couldn't pull it down and run and have any success and throw it into double coverage there by Peabody. He just threw that one away, Drew.
Gibson County right now brings up 2nd and 10, 4:37 in Gibson County. Like you said earlier at the beginning of the game, they are playing their ball game. They're taking their time.
They are, and doing it exceptionally well on both sides of the ball. The clock has been moving. This is as quick a first half as we've seen all year.
Pistol formation. Lamberton drops back. He's looking. He throws. Little bump and run. Oh, and intercepted. Peabody answers with their own interception, and on my old eyes failing me, but was that number 26, Isaiah Jackson, the cornerback, senior cornerback, trading interceptions there on the last 2 drives. And Lenny, I tell you what, I know you're all about Peabody, and you should be. Well, this is a pretty exciting ball game.
Oh, it's very exciting, and I've got some good friends sitting over there, and I've got some good friends on the sideline there for Gibson County. Coach Cody and I hugged before the game here, and I told him best of luck starting next week. So yeah, it's a great folks over there, and it's a big rivalry, and this is what a ball game we've got going on here.
Bogus in shotgun formation. He's got 3 wide receivers, 1 in the slot. He hands it off to Dixon, and Dixon, that's more like the Dixon we're used to seeing, as he gets about a 7-yard gain on the play, brings up 2nd and about 4 yards.
Nice job there. Actually going to be about 2nd and 2 as Dixon picked up 8 yards. But, yeah, that's what Peabody's going to have to do. They're going to have to open up some holes. We've talked about the speed of the front 4 for Gibson County, but that time the strength of Peabody opened up a nice hole for Jarrell.
All right, Bogus takes a snap, hands it off to Dixon. Dixon takes the ball, comes around the corner, beats the first 3 lines, and he is finally brought down at the 45-yard line. And I think somebody might have woke up Mr. Dixon as the Peabody offense finally is finding a way to get through that Gibson County defense.
Dixon is the type back through that they're just going to pound and pound and pound. And if he gets to the outside, he can beat you. If he gets to that second level, he's gonna outrun you. But they're just going to pound him inside there and let him do his thing. And 2 big gains now for Jarrell. Gets it back out to midfield for Peabody.
3:27 to go. Bogus, shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and Bogus keeps the ball. He makes it across the 50. Jukes makes it across the 45 to the 43-yard line, and that is about a 13-yard gain. 1st and 10 for Peabody with 3:15 to go.
Cooper Bogus doing it with his legs there. That's a nice fake. That drew the defense to Jarrell Dixon. They had 3 white jerseys, had Jarrell wrapped up in the backfield. Cooper had pulled the ball away and took off, pick up another first down for Peabody.
Hammonds in the slot, number 23. Parks closest to us, and of course number 1 Hammonds is on the far side, and it's a timeout. Timeout Peabody. Timeout Gibson. Timeout Gibson County, and we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Eddie and Clint Sturgeon at Eddie's Pharmacy say roll tide. Eddie's Pharmacy offers free delivery and 24-hour emergency service. Eddie's Pharmacy is a Health Mart pharmacy. We have 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. Hay flu season begins in the fall and peaks over the winter. Don't wait till it's too late. Get your flu shot at Eddie's. Plus, Eddie's Pharmacy offers vaccinations. Get 12 shots for a burst of energy. And if you have medications that require injection, we'll be happy to take care of that. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. Saturday, 8 to 2. Plus 24-hour emergency service. Eddie's Pharmacy, 114 Davy Crockett Shopping Center, Trenton.
And we are back as we get our headsets back on. We haven't had much time to take a break or get a drink of water. This game has really been going fast. 2:55 to go in your first half of the ball game. And we were talking during that break, maybe Gibson County has been playing on a lot of emotion. Maybe that emotion's starting to edge away.
Well, we talked about riding that wave, and that's what they wanted to do, and they've got to make a stop here. Under 3 minutes left in the half, it would be a big stop if they keep Peabody out of the end zone here.
Boggess keeps the ball. He's going around the corner. He's trying to fight for a first down, and he is brought down. Making the play for Gibson County, if I can get a number, look like number 3 on that one, number 3 or number 2. Adam Smithson, number 2, on the tackle. And right now, that was a 7-yard. That's about a 7-yard gain. That's a 3-yard. So it's going to be, if they change the markers, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. All right, Boggess again. Pistol formation. Frank's in motion. Boggess hands it off to Dixon, number 4. Busts through the line, makes it to a 30. And he is finally brought down at about the 26-yard line. And tackle was made by the quarterback, Peyton Lamberson, for Gibson County. And that is another first down with 2 minutes and 2 minutes to go in the first half. Boggess shotgun formation. Franks in the slot. 3 wide receivers set to the right. And Boggess keeps the ball as he faked it and faked out me and a couple other players on that Gibson defense. And Boggess kept the ball, but once again, the turf tackled him. He just slipped.
I don't know. He had a white jersey wrapped around him there. So Gibson County played that ball fake a lot better as we've got another timeout by Peabody here. Under 2 minutes left. They're trying to put one on the board before halftime here.
That's right. And King Jewelers Watch and Repair. That's King Jewelers Watch and Repair in Jackson. Proud to bring you this exciting ball game. Tied up 0-0. Find them on Facebook. And don't forget, for residential and commercial real estate, contact Ed Norman. And check their listings at larealty.com. Eddie's Pharmacy, serving Gibson County and area for 35 years. They say roll tide. And ask them about their medication synchronization. And ask them how your prescriptions can be ready at the same time every month, saving you gas and money. Also, Sonic, 6 locations in Jackson. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, proud supporters of the Tide. And, of course, Raspberry Wrecker Service. They're on call 24/7. One call, and you're hooked. 1:35 left to go in the first half. 0-0. Man, we've got us a good old slobber knocker going.
Yeah, I was wondering about TCA and Union City and how that ball game's coming out, but, man, who cares? As good as this one is.
It is. Very entertaining. All right, here we go. We got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, and, that's not good when the play is called before the snap.
He was lined up in the neutral zone. Gibson County defense was. Lined
Gibson
up
County.
off sides.
Gibson County right now. This is not how you want to go in the half. 1:34 to go. Both teams have, I do believe, 2 timeouts. Boggess takes the snap, voice of pressure, and he is finally brought down and sacked. And a little extra business it looked like, or they're going after the ball. But he is sacked, and it looked like he was sacked by number 50, Guy Moffitt. Guy Moffitt with the sack.
That's a big play by Gibson County's defense. You had 3rd and 7. and that's a 4-yard sack of Bogus, or excuse me, 2nd and 7. That's a 4-yard sack on Bogus. Gibson County's defense is just continuing to play very well, as now we're under a minute here in the first half, still tied at 0.
4 wide receivers, 2 to the right. Bogus drops back, looks, throws the ball up, but there was somebody in his face when he was throwing, so he really couldn't get a good look at the at downfield as he was trying to go for Dixon.
He had Dixon open early on the sideline, but he hesitated just a little bit and didn't get it to Dixon, and he paid the price. He took a pop there by 2 Pioneer defenders, but he did get it away. That brings up 4th down and 12 for Peabody from inside the 30-yard line with under a minute left.
4th down, 12 yards. 2 timeouts for both teams, 51 seconds to go. This is the biggest play of the half right here for Peabody. The crowd stands up. And we got a timeout. Timeout, Gibson County. And, boy, I tell you, Lee.
That's a nice timeout. You can't take them home with you. You can't reuse them in the second half. And 4th and 12 with under a minute to go, and Peabody in positive territory. Nice job by Cody Finley to call a timeout, get his team on the same page, and try and keep Peabody from making a big play here at the end of the first half. What has been an exceptionally defensive played ball game by both teams.
And if you're Coach Finley, you'll give your team a nice little bit of momentum to go in the half. 0-0 tied up with Peabody.
Well, we talked a minute ago. We talked in the pregame about riding the wave, and if they can stop Peabody here on 4th down and go in to halftime at 0-0, they're going to have to be feeling good, and they're going to have to be feeling good coming out in the second half to taking on this Peabody team and shutting them out through the first 24 minutes if they can get a stop here.
That's right. So and Peabody needs to score or get another first down. They have to do something positive on this play. 4th and long. Here we go. Cooper Bogus in the backfield. Dixon in the backfield with them. Franks the up back. Bogus takes the ball, drops back, looks, throws. His receiver was able to hold on to the ball, and is that, tell me, number 1? Tell me I'm right.
That's Hammonds. You are right. Nice job. Sideline route there. Gibson County is doing a tremendous job on Noah Halbrook, but Peabody has so many weapons. Hammonds being an exceptional weapon with great hands. Slipped on the sideline. We talked about some wetness on the sidelines over there, but Hammonds did a great job coming up with that pass.
Clock is running, 35 seconds. Bogus drops back to throw. We got a penalty interception on the play. Oh, my stars.
I think that's going to be holding on Peabody, so the interception is going to stand. Gibson County, you've got to give these guys all the credit in the world. They're putting a tremendous amount of pressure on Cooper Bogus, and that time the secondary came up with the interception, and it was a holding on Peabody, and that'll be declined. So Gibson County is going to take it over here with a half a minute left in the first half on the interception. That's second interception for Cooper tonight. He's only had one in the first 6 ball games of the season. So Gibson County's defense is doing a tremendous job tonight.
And right now, a quiet Peabody crowd. Quiet.
Very quiet. But you can hear some noise on that other side of the field, I assure you.
All right. Now Gibson County, Lamberton, calling out the signals, takes a snap, hands it off to number 30, who runs and runs. Oh, my stars, he's not going to be caught. He makes it to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and jumps over the goal line. And that is number 23, Ozzy Rico, with the touchdown. He'd been working all night, getting those tough 4 3-yard gains, and finally he broke it. And when he's in the open, he can put on some speed as he gets about a 70-yard touchdown run with 17 seconds to go in the first half. Gibson County 6, Peabody 0.
We talked about his speed, Drew. And if he got to that second line of defense, he was going to be tough to catch. Great job there. Hey, you talk about big defensive stand. One play later, they score on a 72-yard run by Ozzy Rico.
All right, now they're going to go for 2 points. As you mentioned, not very good kicking game. Lamberton tries to make it to the corner, and he is rocked by number 8, Wilkerson. No, would that be number 8, or was that Albee that rocked him?
I think that was Wilkins. Wilkins was there to make the hit. Gibson County with the big score. We talked if it's a close ball game about the kicking, and they've got a very young kicker, and they're working him, and he's getting better. He's just not ready for these big ball games like this, so they're going to go for the 2-point conversion in these ball games, and that time it didn't work out. The way their defense is playing, they're not going to have to worry about it, but you have to wonder if somewhere down the road, if their kicking game is not going to be a factor in some ball games for Gibson County.
Well, I've always heard in high school football, the kicking game, very rarely will your kicking game win you a game, but it most surely will cost you a game.
Yeah, but now Gibson County's had a lot of success with their 2-point conversions during the first 6 games of the season also. But this Peabody defense, salty, yes, Ozzie Rico just broke loose for a 72-yard touchdown. And we said that he could if he got to that second line of defense. But in close quarters like that, and it's tough on a 2-point conversion when you've got everybody bunched up.
And you got the speed that Peabody has that can beat you to the corner. And, of course, you got that beef up front that will clog those running lanes. And here we go with the kickoff. And Gibson County, now that had been a sweet kick in the first quarter. That would have been a nice kick in the first quarter. And
we talked about their kick team, their kickoff team before the game. And you see they're going to just kick the ball on the ground. They've got Dante Holder handling the duties off the tee there.
Well, fans, don't go away because Peabody can score. And I hate to cut you off, Lee, but Peabody can score in 15 seconds. They've got the offense, they've got the firepower, and they got the players.
Well, I think they can. And, we've seen it all year. They can come up with some big plays. I think they'll give it one shot here. If that doesn't work out, I think they'll just settle to go in at halftime 6-0, down 6-0.
All right. Well, I think Gibson County's saying the same thing. They feel the same thing. They're saying, let's just talk about this for a second.
Well, Cooper's got a strong arm. He's not going to throw it 80 yards or 70 yards down the field here, but
he can make it 60.
You've got 2 timeouts left, and it's first down. So, in 16 seconds left and 2 timeouts, you can run 3 plays here. If you don't get a first down, you can stop the clock with a timeout, run to the sideline, step out of bounds, and stop the clock. So you've got some options here. And like I say, you can probably get 3 plays away in 16 seconds, so you don't have to go for it all in one heave right here for Peabody.
Well, I've noticed looking at the Peabody huddle, the coaches aren't yelling, kind of laughing and joking with the players, and they don't seem to be worried.
Well, that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
It is what it is, bro. Peabody's just getting beat here. Well, and they're going to have to come out in the second half and play well to win this ball game. And, it's homecoming week. A lot of coaches think homecoming week is a distraction, but you walk out on the field and you got to get your heads right. And Peabody's going to have to do that in the second half. Gibson County bringing it to them.
Well, Bogus right now takes a snap, looks, throws. He's got number 1 with his sure hands, and that is Eli Hammonds.
It's going to be enough for a first down. Marked at about the 49-yard line. And so now they're going to go ahead. In high school, the clock stops on the first down until it's going to be short. So that's the reason Peabody called a timeout. They are going to give it to him.
All right.
So the clock stops on the first down in high school and restarts when they set the change. But Peabody wanted to go ahead and take a timeout. 11 seconds, that play took 5, so they've got time for 2 plays here from the 48-yard line.
And, coaches right now are not panicking. The game's still young, only a 6-point deficit. Surely not over with by no ways. Still got plenty of ball to play. And I just think Peabody right now, to tell you truthfully, is just getting their first good test of the year. And so far, nobody's panicking on the Peabody side.
No, and it's not going to, these players have been in these situations before, lost some close ball games last year. The coaching staff has, Gibson County staff has, and Gibson County players in a big spot right here.
Bogus has a receiver and steps right out of bounds to Mr. Hands, Eli Hammonds.
Well, just, 10 yards here, 10 yards on the last play to get it down to the 42-yard line. That play only took 3 seconds. So if you're going to run that, And I'm sure that what Peabody's trying to do is to get this cornerback to bite on that and then throw deep. But defensively, Gibson County is playing that very well.
Vargas drops back to pass. He's looking. He pump fakes, throws it up, has number 7. Oh, intercepted. Oh, my stars. Intercepted. Oh, and they're still fighting for it. And now that's a good sign of sportsmanship right there. Number 3 got the interception. Cameron McMacken. He got the interception as the ball, as Vargas had number 7, Hallbrook, was going to go, and they both jumped up, but number 3 for Gibson County was able to jump just a little bit higher.
That's a nice defensive play by Gibson County.
Nice offensive play.
It was, and give McMacken credit there. He just out-jumped Noah Hallbrook for the ball, and that's the 3rd interception of the night for this Pioneer defense. Give them all the credit in the world. The way they're defensing this Peabody offense, who has been so potent in the first 6 ball games of the season.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to get something to drink, and we're going to get some stats. So we'll be back in 5 minutes.
LA Realty LLC was started in January 2000 by longtime Gibson County native and real estate specialist Lynn Arnold. Since that time, our team has grown to include an office in Trenton, led by Ed Norman and many talented professionals who share the common goal of making your real estate goals a reality. We've been involved with the buying and selling of homes in Trenton and adjacent areas for over 10 years. Since inception, we've been an important part of the local community, and we will continue to serve all of the area's real estate needs for years to come. For residential and commercial real estate, contact Ed Norman at 855-9899 or 571-7092. That's 571-7092. That's Ed Norman at LA Realty, 107 West Court Street in Trenton. Tour our listings at larealtyllc.com. Hickerson Automotive Group Incorporated is locally owned and operated by Richie and Andrea Hickerson and their team of automotive experts. Call or come by today and let Richie, Anthony, Seth, Eric, Scotty, or William help you find the parts and accessories you need to get back on the road. Hickerson Automotive Group in Trenton is home to Napa Legend batteries, custom-made hydraulic hose assemblies, as well as all your hometown automotive, industrial, and agricultural parts. Hickerson Automotive Group, your Trenton Napa Auto Parts store. Call 855-9370. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and open Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. 2052 Highway 45 Bypass in Trenton. You're listening to Trenton Peabody Football on WNWS.com. Trenton Medical Clinic provides care to patients with chronic disease such as high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, anxiety, depression, asthma, COPD, attention deficit disorder, obesity, and many other illnesses. DOT exams are also performed at their location. Most all insurances are accepted, including all TennCare products. Reasonable self-pay pricing is available. Trenton Medical Clinic is open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Appointments can be made by calling 731-855-2803. Walk-in patients are welcomed. Raspberry Tire and Service Center has been providing quality car care in Trenton, Tennessee since 1999. Our shop employs honest ASE-certified technicians and mechanics, and we use the latest technology and equipment for our repairs. Because we are a certified Napa Auto Care Center, we're able to provide the benefits of an established national company while offering the personal touch of a local business. We understand that your vehicle is a major investment, and that is why we care for each customer's vehicle as if it were our own. Please be sure to go to RaspberryServiceCenter.com. Shop Specials section for our current promotions and specials. Raspberry Wrecker Service since 1982. Small, medium, and heavy wreckers available and on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call Kyle at 855-9438 or 487-1947. Day or night, one call and you're hooked. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, 2216 U.S. Highway 45 Bypass South in Trenton, Tennessee. You're listening to Trenton Peabody Football on WNWS.com. Roll Tide from Griffin Automotive in Trenton. We specialize in transmission work and diagnostics. Brian Griffin has 30 years of experience repairing transmissions, electrical problems, wiring issues, air conditioning, brakes, shocks, struts, oil changes, front and rear differential, and four-wheel drive service and repair. Griffin Automotive also has tires for your vehicle. Griffin Automotive can fix anything but a broken heart. Trenton has trusted Griffin Automotive since 1998. Griffin Automotive, 403 East Eaton Street in Trenton. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 855-0558. That's 855-0558. Phelan Estes Insurance is an independent agency serving clients in Tennessee. The agency offers prompt professional service for auto, home, business, and life insurance coverage to its customers' needs. We're part of the local community. Phelan Estes Insurance Agency offers auto, leisure, homeowners, business, renters, life insurance, and more. Get in touch with our friendly staff today at Phelan Estes Insurance Agency, 118 East Eaton Street. Trenton, get a quote today by calling 855-2813. That's 855-2813 for your trusted hometown insurance agency, Phelan Estes Insurance in Trenton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. Go Tide from Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness in Trenton. At Dynamics, our mission is to be the bright spot in our customers' day while pursuing excellence in healthcare and service. We can help you with physical therapy treatment programs for things like post-surgical rehab, rotator cuff dysfunction, TMJ dysfunction, joint and back neck pains. We specialize in sports medicine for on-site medical coverage for sporting events, comprehensive injury management, communication with athletes and parents, coaches and physicians, as well as 24-hour on-call access to professional staff. We have a 24-hour full-service health clubs specialize in group fitness classes, cutting-edge equipment, and training advice. Dynamics also provides free injury assessments, complimentary injury and pain screenings, providing treatment options and care coordination as well. And evaluations are done by licensed provider. Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness, 126 Davy Crockett Mall. Call 855-2221 for Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness.
And we are back live from Walter Kilzer Stadium as we watch the Band of Gold. And I've been told, and I read on Facebook, Lee, that, tonight for the Gibson County Pioneer fans, your band is going to play right after the ball game due to the not length of the not out of any disrespect. It's just both these bands are quality bands, and everybody knows them, and everybody wants to hear them. So right after the ball game tonight, the Gibson County Band is going to play, correctly?
It's homecoming here at Peabody, which we've talked about, and a lot of homecoming festivities, and and each band, superb bands. Gibson County Marching Pioneers and Peabody Band of Gold do a super job, and so Gibson County had said early in the week that they would perform their marching show at the conclusion of the ball game, and so hope the Peabody fans will stick around for that. They always put on a good show, and of course I'm sure that a lot of the Gibson County fans will come across the way and see the Gibson County perform at the end of this ball game. Drew, we talked in the opening about the keys to victory, and some things that we thought should happen and could happen, and what we thought needed to happen for each team. And first thing I said in our keys to victory was that Gibson County was going to have to shorten the game, and they've done that. They haven't had any long time consuming drives, but that was a very quick first half, and Gibson County's defense was spectacular. Their defensive front has just whipped our offensive line all over the field tonight. They've put a lot of pressure on Cooper Balgus, and then Gibson County's secondary has come up with 3 interceptions. That's 3 more than Cooper has thrown in the first 6 games of the season. So give all the credit in the world to this Pioneer defense. They came ready to play tonight. They were charged.
They just got after it. Just plain and simple. They just got after it.
They really did. They certainly did. And, we talked about that also. They've got to ride the wave. They came in with momentum, and they played with momentum, and got a big play there. We talked about Peabody not going to be able to give up any big plays. They got stopped on 4th down, and Gibson County's offense busted them right in the mouth with a 72-yard run by Ozzie Rico. Once he was to that second line of defense, there was no catching him there. 72-yard run, and that gave Gibson County the lead at 6-0 with under a minute left. But Gibson County's defense put them in that position with big stops there on that drive. And Peabody had finally gotten a drive, but when it got down into the red zone, Gibson County's defense made a stand.
Well, let me ask you this question now. I know coaches at halftime right now, Peabody's coaches are telling them everything that, you're supposed to tell them. Hey, do this, do that, you get your assignment. They're saying all the right things to the players, but these kids. I want to ask you, Lee, Are the oh my gosh is starting to set in that locker room right now?
I don't think so. Peabody's a veteran team. Gibson County, they've got some good senior leadership, but Peabody's got some good senior leadership. There's a lot of distractions this week, and I'm giving Gibson County all the credit in the world for leading 6-0. But coaches hate homecoming.
Right.
Community loves it.
Yeah.
Students love it. The alumni love it. But coaches, it's a big distraction. And not taking anything away from Gibson County, but you have to wonder if Peabody was not distracted a little bit and didn't come in ready to play in that first half. So the coaches are going to have to get their attention here at halftime. Gibson County has taken it to Peabody on both sides. Well, offensively, they really haven't. Peabody has done a good job, with the exception of that 72-yard run. But defensively, Gibson County has just controlled the line of scrimmage and not let this Peabody offense. We've talked about all their weapons. They've covered Noah Halbrook up. Noah has not caught a pass in the first half. Hammonds has caught 3 or 4 passes. He's been open, but all the credit. Hats off to the Pioneers of Gibson County defense. They've come in here and they've taken Peabody to the woodshed here in the first half.
And their offense, Rico, he has just been, he's been working all game long, been getting those hard yards, 3-4 yards, and then that one 70-yard touchdown run he had, he just managed to break 1 or 2 tackles at the right moment. And once he got in that open field, he just motored right away from the closest Peabody defender.
And we talked in the first half about the strength in his legs, and he did that. And then once he got to that second level, he outrun everybody. And Jadarian Easley, probably the fastest man on Peabody's team, filling in here for Cortland Wade tonight. He's played well, but he didn't miss anything on that play. He's just the quickest man on our team, and Jadarian couldn't catch him. So that's how quick Ozzie Rico was gone on that play. We talk about numbers. That was a 72-yard touchdown run, Drew. And Gibson County has 112 yards rushing in that first half. So except for that play, Peabody's defense has limited them to 40 yards rushing on the night. Rico has 93 yards, 21 yards. That's on 8 carries. 93 yards on 8 carries, but 21 yards on those 7 other carries, but it was that 72-yard run that put Gibson County atop.
Oh, you're right. Now, Peabody, we're not saying they haven't done anything wrong. They've been doing a lot of things right on defense. They've stopped this Gibson County offense, except for that 170-yard run on both sides. That's been about the biggest play of the game.
It has, and that's the only big play of the ball game. And both offenses throughout the first half of the season have been known and have gotten a lot of attention for their big play ability. Gibson County has one tonight. Peabody does not have a big play in this one. You want to look at some numbers, Drew. Gibson County in that first half, they had 2 passing first downs, 3 on the ground for a total of 5. Meanwhile, Peabody had 4 first downs rushing, 4 passing for a total of 8. Gibson County, 16 carries for 112 yards. Of course, 72 of those coming on that 1 carry by Rico. And 23 yards passing for the Pioneers for a total of 135. For Peabody offensively, they had 43 yards rushing on 15 carries. That's not a lot for this Peabody offense that we've seen throughout the season. 61 yards passing for a total of 104 yards for Peabody. Cooper Bogus, 6 of 13 in the first half, but he threw those 3 interceptions. Meanwhile, Lamberson for Gibson County, 2 out of 7 with 1 interception. Punting, Peabody has punted 3 times for a 31-yard average. Gibson County 4 times for a 31-yard average. Gibson County has been penalized once for 5 yards. Peabody once for 10 yards. So it's been a clean ball game.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about that the field was going to be soggy from the hash marks over to the sideline, and we've seen a couple of slips there. But I think the crown of the field, where most of the play has occurred, it's still in good shape. It doesn't seem to be loosening up or doesn't seem to be any worse now than it was at the beginning of the ball game. So we're still in good shape there with the turf.
Well, Lee, I tell you, usually we are talking about a ride home. Clock has usually been running, but this is a pretty exciting ball game. So fans, if you're watching this on WNWS.com, which I know you are, don't go anywhere. this game is not over with by a long shot. We're going to see a couple more big plays, and I got a feeling, Lee, this game's going to go down the wire, and I'm even predicting maybe overtime. I mean, I would not be surprised.
That's something that the kicking game is going to come into play. We talked in depth about Gibson County's kicking, and they're not going to kick any extra points. They're going to go for two, and get it or not, because they've struggled with their kicking game. And so, but Peabody's going to have to score. They've thrown. This is the first time that anyone has scored on Peabody at home this season. Peabody has thrown goose eggs at the first five opponents here that they've played at Walter Kilser Stadium. Gibson County jumps on top 6-0 with that long run. So for the first time this season, Peabody is playing catch-up in the first half. Now, they did have to catch up with Milan after Milan took a late lead in that ball game, but it's the first time that Peabody has trailed in the first half of a ball game all year.
Well, they've had success. Dixon was just starting to get on track. I got a feeling we're going to see the 1-2 punch of Dixon and, of course, number 8 Wilkins. That's
Wilkins
if I was the coach. If that was the coach, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, Wilkins has been very quiet here in the first half. He had that one carry where he was hit hard.
Yeah,
and coughed it up. And Cooper was there to recover it, but. For the most part, Gibson County has done a good job. Dixon has 6 rushes for 40 yards. And I'm going to tell you this, Drew. Here's something else for us to watch. Here we are 6-0 at halftime, and Peabody starters have not had to play 4 quarters
I was going to bring that up.
Since the Milan game in
week
2.
Yeah.
And so, you have to wonder if that's going to affect this Peabody team, because their starters are only used to playing for 2 quarters because they've had running clock and big leads in the second half. And so we'll keep an eye on that and see how that transpires for Peabody in the second half.
That's why, and I don't want to tell Coach Jacobs what to do, but I would feed the ball. I'd start rotating linemen, and I'd start feeding the ball to both to Allen, Wilkerson, and Dixon.
Well, if everybody stays healthy, you're not going to see Allen in there with Dixon and Jacquez. But
as a sub,
the offensive line is really going to have to make a stand. This defensive front for Gibson County is so quick, and they're beating Peabody offensive line to spots. They're getting into the backfield, and they're so quick that they can do that, and their linebackers are playing exceptional. We don't have a tackle chart for Gibson County, but I would love to see how many tackles their linebackers are having, and you give a lot of that credit to the defensive front for Gibson County, because they're keeping those blockers away from these Pioneer linebackers, letting them make the plays.
My strategy would be all hands on deck. We're going to rotate players. Allen, get ready. Everybody's playing this half. We're rotating, and we're just going to pound them into the ground.
Well, you got to get something going offensively, and we've talked in depth throughout the season about the weapons that Peabody has, and they do. They can come at you from several. Pick your poison. You go with Albrook, you go with Dixon, you go with Hammonds, you go with Wilkins, and then they've got some other options in Parks. One thing we talked about last week was that we haven't seen any passes thrown to Bryce Franks from his tight end position. Bryce is kind of beat up. We talked earlier in the game. He had an injury. He had an injury early in the year. Last week, I feel like that he finally got back to 100%. He caught a couple of passes down there, and we said before that game that was still an option that Cooper Bogus would be the tight end Bryce Franks, and they did utilize him last week. But Bryce is still banged up a little bit. I think they're trying to get him well for the second half of the season, and because he's an integral part of this Peabody offense, and of course he's an integral part of their kicking game as well. So they can't afford to get Bryce beat up any more than he already is.
Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be back as we got about 3 minutes to go, and we're going to take us a 1-minute break. You are watching Peabody football here on WNWS. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as soon as I get my screen back up. Here we go.
John 1-1.
Officer, I'd like to file a report. I
witnessed a robbery.
Robbery.
Yes, at Sonic. I saw a man steal a quarter-pound double cheeseburger and tots for only $2.99. He was about 6'1", brown hair, blue shirt, big smile.
Wait, so he did actually pay just $2.99? I better check this out. Boys, I'm going on lunch.
It's a steal, all right. The Car Hop Classic, a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or Slinger Plus Tots for only $2.99. This is how you Sonic. Text 9 included, see menu for details for a limited time only participating Sonic drive-ins.
When you step into King Jewelers, you're stepping into a family-owned business with nearly 30 years of experience. Let Grover King set you up with estate jewelry or the amazing Citizen Echo Drive watch, as well as custom-designed jewelry. King Jewelers buys gold and silver, offers Rolex repair, as well as watch and jewelry repair. Check out the selection of gemstone jewelry and diamond stud earrings. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 till 5:30 and 10 till 2 on Saturday.
King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, and a brand new King Jewelers location in downtown Jackson.
You are watching Peabody football right here on WNWS.com. And, of course, we'd like to thank Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness of Trenton, proud supporter of the Golden Tide, and saying enjoy homecoming, but not too much. Drink, don't drive. Also, Premier Dental Center says Roll Tide, 3 locations in Bells, Jackson, and Milan. Master Fit Medical Supplies, they are a leading supplier of medical equipment for over 20 years. And, of course, Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Hickerson Automotive Group, home of the Napa Legend batteries, Trenton's a Napa Auto Parts store. And, of course, you can insure a win with Vale & Esses Insurance Agency, your independent insurance dealer of Trenton. Make your house a home with Anderson Furniture and Floor Covering. The Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. Trenton Medical Clinic, your hometown health provider. Rockin' Dough Pizza, featuring that Saturday and Sunday brunch. Rock out with a Rockin' Dough Pizza. King Jewelers and Watch Repair in Jackson. Find them on Facebook. And for residential and commercial real estate, contact Ed Norman in Trenton. Check out their listings at larealty.com. Eddie's Pharmacy, serving the Gibson County area for 35 years. They say Roll Tide. They are a proud supporter of Homecoming 2018, and ask them about their medication synchronization. Your prescription's ready whenever you are, the same time every month, saving you both time, gas, and most importantly, a little bit of money. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, a proud supporter of the Tide. Remember, Raspberry Wrecker Service, on call 24/7, one call, and you're hooked. And Sonic with 6 locations in Jackson. Well, Lee, a minute 14 to go before the second half, and a big round of applause for Gibson County from their fans as they came out on the field, and, of course, a thunderous applause for the Peabody home team as they came out on the field. And right now, I'll tell you what do you read from the body language of Peabody?
Oh, they're going to come out ready to play. Gibson County is going to come out ready to play. We're going to have another slugfest here in the second half, Drew, just like we had in that first half. I want to mention this, Drew. People that from Trenton, from the area, who've come to Peabody games throughout the year, you remember the old Freed Field up in Midtown Trenton, as Dave McCulley used to say, and there was a Cheapskate Hill, which was a little curve in the road, and people would sit up in that curve. You look across the way at the bank that's out on the bypass, and that hill is full of people. It used to be, people would talk about some of the old timers sitting on Cheapskate Hill. There were guys that would buy season tickets for the money to go to the football program and then sit on that hill outside the stadium there at Freed Field. But I look across the way and see all the cars in the bank parking lot, and that's what it reminds me of.
Well, you know what? Cheapskate Hill can be anywhere you want it to be with WNWS.com, because you can watch us online, at home, or on Cheapskate Hill in the comfort of your own car, on your phone, on your tablet, on your laptop. And if you want to relive this exciting game, you can also go back in the archives.
There's some guys listening in Wisconsin. There's some folks listening in Texas. There's some folks listening in Arkansas. I know some listening in Florida. A lot of alumni from both schools listening from wherever they may be, and we're glad to have them.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was a text from somebody that was listening to us from around the world.
Could be.
Well, if you know Lee and you're listening from a faraway location out of state, give Lee a text. we'll give you a shout out. How about that?
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right.
Let's give a shout out to this Gibson County football team. What a first half they've
played. They have. And now we get started with the second half. 12 minutes to go as Gibson County is going to kick, and Peabody right now, the fans are standing up. Oh, my stars, Lee. I got a feeling we are going to be talking about this game for a while as we got another short little kickoff. Oh, it hits a Peabody player and bounces off of him. He takes the ball, makes it out to the 30, and he is greeted by 3 white jerseys. And that is number 4, Dixon. I don't like to see Dixon getting kickoffs.
Well, he's an up back there, and we talked about the kickoffs for Gibson County, and nice coverage there by the kickoff team. Dixon didn't come up with it cleanly. If he comes up with it cleanly there, he's going to beat the kick coverage team down the field, and he's going to have a nice return. But it clinked off of his knee, and he had to chase it down, and by that time, the Gibson County coverage team was there and stopped Dixon. They'll start at the 31.
Bogus shotgun formation, hands it off to Dixon. Dixon makes it up the line and makes it across to about the 35-yard line for about a 3-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 7, and that's what you want to do. With 11:44 to go, 6-0, Gibson County's favor. And they're starting off conservative, but that's okay. Just keep beating and beating and beating.
Well, that's where they had some success there at the end of that first half, pounding Dixon inside there. They didn't have any success going outside, didn't have any success passing the ball.
Bogus keeps the ball, tries to go around to the right, to the left side. Dodges one tackle, and he is motoring. 30, 20, 15, 10, and 3 will get you 6. No flags. No flags. That score will stand, and it is Peabody 6, Gibson County 6, as Bogus on a nice little 64-yard run kept the ball, went around that left end, beat Gibson to the corner, and he just took off.
That's a great job. We talk about the big play capability of this Peabody offense. That time, Cooper Bogus put it on his shoulders, scored from 65 yards out.
And we've got the kicker. And that field goal, and that extra point is good. And this Peabody team is fired up. Isaiah Hicks with the extra point, successful extra point. And right already with about, I would say 46 seconds gone in the third quarter, Peabody back in a familiar position with the lead.
Well, we Drew, I hate to keep harping on it. We talked about the kicking game. We've talked about the kicking game and the extra point there with Isaiah Hicks. Isaiah missed his first one of the year last year. He came in with 39 out of 40 extra points on the year. He made that one, and that gives Peabody the lead at 7-6. But Gibson County's defense, they gave up a big play there, and that's one thing that we said they couldn't do. They're going to have to tighten back down, and you talked about the Peabody coming out, and I told you that they would be ready, and they do look like they're ready to play in the second half.
Bryce Franks getting ready to kick the ball off from the 40-yard line, and it's a nice high kick. Lots of hang time, goes right to the Gibson County back, who drops it, and Peabody smells blood, but the back is able to get it up and make it out to the 28-yard line. And I tell you what, as soon as those black jerseys saw that ball on the ground, they just started to swarm.
Logan Whittemore on the stop there for Peabody, and he did a good job just to make that stop at the 28-yard line. Vandiver has done such a tremendous job getting downfield, and that time the Pioneer deep back kind of bobbled the ball, and Peabody's kick coverage team just did not do a good job getting down there and making the stop. But Logan with the stop to put Gibson County starting inside their 30-yard line.
All right, we got a true shotgun pistol formation, and it hands off to Rico. Rico tries to go around the corner, cuts it back inside, but he is met by 2 big defenders, and he is just stuffed. And he is stopped, as they say, with authority.
Yeah, you got your beefs up there on that stop. You got Braxton Johnson and Osiris Wilson up there making that stop on Ozzie Rico. Pickup of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Pioneers from the 30-yard line.
Pioneers are sticking with that pistol formation as Lamberton is the quarterback. And he's got his buddy Rico in the backfield with him, Ozzie Rico, and Hayden McGuire in the backfield. Lamberton, pistol formation, takes a snap, hands it off to Rico. Rico trying to make it around the corner, and he sees a wall of black as they just string that play out.
That's a nice job by the cornerback, Jadarian Easley, filling in for Cortland Wade there. Got outside, turned Rico back to the inside, and Parks and Wilkins were there to stop Ozzie Rico, and that's about a 1.5 yard loss on that play. So credit to Peabody's secondary for making a big play on the edge here.
9:55 and counting. Peabody up 7-6. As the defense right now, you couldn't even tell they played the first half of football already, as they are fired up and coming out swinging. Lamberton drops back, zips a pass, almost intercepted. And number 1, Eli Hammonds, almost intercepted that ball as Lamberton had to get rid of it quick as he had pressure coming, and it brings up 4th down, and Pioneers are going to have to punt.
Good job there. Good defensive stand by Peabody. That's the kind of start they needed to this second half. The offense come out with a big play, turn around defensively and put a big stop on Gibson County and make them punt it back and give this Peabody offense the ball again early in the third quarter.
Pioneers punt the ball. Nice high punt. Lots of hang time. Makes it to the 35 of Peabody and rolls to about the 32-yard line. And Peabody's offense is going to take over again at about their own 32-yard line. And right now, Bogus leading his offensive unit out on the field. And a little pip in their step as you have Hammonds going out way to the left. And, of course, number 23, Josh Parks coming out closest to us. 2 wide receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, shotgun formation. Bogus takes the snaps, hands it off to number 7. Number 7 makes it across the line of scrimmage, and he is stopped by that Gibson County defense, and he is stopped by, looks like, number 3 and number 30 for Gibson County, and number 30 is Jake Patterson. Jake Patterson with the stop.
Drew, I tell you, Gibson County has taken a couple of weapons away from this Peabody offense. Noah Halbrook has just not been able to get anything going offensively. They have had him covered up like a blanket all night, and that time they did the same thing. Jake Patterson with a big stop. Noah did pick up 1 yard though.
Shotgun formation, 1 back in the backfield. Hands it off to Dixon. Dixon dances across the line of scrimmage and makes it out to about the 37-yard line. And that's going to bring up 3rd down. And 3rd down in about 4 yards, 3rd and 4. With 8:31 and counting to go. Peabody ahead 7-6.
You know, Peabody has had a lot of success, Drew, throughout the year getting to the edge, and the only success they found tonight, besides that Cooper Bogus run, is up the middle, just grinding it.
Bogus hands the ball off again to Dixon, and Dixon is stopped. He does not make the 1st down as he is stopped, and he is brought down by number 31, and that is Hayden McGuire on defense.
McGuire with the big play there, pickup of about 1, 4th down and 2, and Peabody is going to have to give it back to the Pioneer offense.
I don't know. Peabody going for it, Lee. Hammonds closest to us, it looks like. That's Hammonds, number 1. Shotgun formation. Oh, man moved. Albee just moved his wrist.
Yeah, I don't think Peabody was ever going to get a snap off there. I think they were trying to draw Gibson County off, and they would have never snapped the ball. You don't want to give Gibson County offense the ball inside the 50-yard line, but Peabody unable to draw Gibson County off, so they're going to punt it away.
Well, there we go. 7:35 to go. 7:34 and counting. In the third quarter, 7-6, Peabody's favor as Bogus gets ready to punt. Bogus been doing a lot of punting tonight. Takes a snap, gets the ball off, low kick, bounce, takes a Peabody bounce, rolls out to about the 33-yard line. They've been hanging around about the 30-yard line, between the 30 and the 35 all night long, both teams.
One time there in the first half, Gibson County flipped the field and was starting Peabody deep in their own territory, and Gibson County started a possession, an excellent punt down inside the 5-yard line. Otherwise, this game has been played between the 30s, other than the two big plays in the middle of the field. And so, but yeah, it's, we've still got a lot of ball game to go here, Drew. 7:14 left in the third quarter. And you think people around West Tennessee getting this score at 7-6 in the third quarter are surprised at all?
I know they are. Right now, though, pistol formation. Lamberton takes the ball, hands it off he keeps the ball, and he makes about a 4-yard, close to a 5-yard gain on the play. And he is stopped by number 10, and that is Quay Parks, who makes the stop on the play. And, well, we're going to call it 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 on the play. Ball at the 38-yard line. 6:45 to go and counting. Peabody 7 and Gibson County 6. Pistol formation, 2 wide receivers, 3 backs in the backfield. Lamberton takes a snap, puts a man in motion, and hands off to Rico, who's trying to go around the corner, but once again, he cannot beat Peabody to the corner.
Jarrell Dixon.
We've got a player right now.
I think that may be a cramp, and I tell you what happened over there. We talked about it being wet from the numbers to the sideline.
Yep.
Dixon did a great job getting over there, and the running back lost his footing, and Dixon came up with a big hit, and I think that's what happened to Hammonds, who's limping around now, got a little bit of a cramp, and that's what happens when you get in that wet part of the field and slip. You can easily catch some cramps in your legs. Hey, we got some listeners again in Wisconsin, Bob Duncan, and then our furthest communication, Tacoma, Washington, a former alumni, former Tide man.
Tacoma, Washington. Well, all right. Well, thank you for tuning in to WNWS.com. Oh, and a completed pass. Oh, man. Number 31. Number 31, Hayden McGuire. And he just bowled over a Peabody player, and that's a nice gain.
That's a good hard run.
Oh, yeah.
Hayden McGuire with the hard run. It's a nice gain, pickup of about 8 on play, but it's still going to bring up 4th down and about 2.5 for Gibson County. But a lot of credit there for that young man, Hayden McGuire.
And right now, Gibson County's confidence in their defense. So far, they've been able to match up pretty well against Peabody, so they're going to punt the ball. And how much you want to bet, Lee, it's going to wind up between the 30 and the 35. Here we go. And, well, what do you know? It rolls out past the 25 to the 24-yard line. Not far away.
Not bad. But I tell you what, we need to give that young man some credit. That is Noah Stafford. He's been doing an outstanding job at his middle linebacker position, and he's done a great job with his punch, sometimes under a lot of pressure from this Peabody special teams. That time not any pressure, but a good job. His last punt was 39 yards. This one was 37 yards. So Noah Stafford having a big night and really helping this Pioneer football team out with his special teams play.
Well, both punters are getting a lot of practice tonight, Lee, and their punts are getting better and better as the night goes along. All right, Cooper Bogus not wanting to punt on this drive. He's thinking 6. So he's in a shotgun formation, and he keeps the ball, tucks it inside, and makes it out to about the 30-yard line for a good 6-yard gain. Will bring up 2nd and 4.
We talked and we wondered at halftime, Drew, about the how Peabody would handle the second half, the starters, in a close ball game, because they haven't played a full ball game since week 3 of the season or week 2 of the season. So far, they've come out with a lot of energy here in the second half and look to have more energy than Gibson County does. That was Wilkins on the carry. Wilkins did get enough for the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for Peabody. They're going to have the ball at the 34-yard line after that 8-yard pickup by Jaquez Wilkins. And just as we say that, we see Jaquez Wilkins limping out of the ball. Jaquez Wilkins limping out of the ball game. Jarrell Dixon back in for number 4 Wilkins. Cooper in the shotgun, hands off to Jarrell Dixon, just back into the ball game. Jarrell's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. Nice job there by number 50 for the Pioneers, who is Guy Moffitt on the stop. Pick up a 4 yards for Dixon. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 for Peabody from the 38-yard line.
All right, well, let's see. We are Vargas takes the snap, rolls out to his left, makes it across the line of scrimmage, and he just may have a first down.
He didn't get a very favorable spot as far as where he landed. Now, he may roll. That's on the other side of the field. We didn't have a good look at it that far away. But he's going to be right at it, and he does get the first down. Another first down for Peabody. Cooper Vargas on that first down run.
All right, it's going to be first and 10. Ball at the 38-yard. Ball at the 43-yard line. Ball at the 43-yard line.
That's Jarrell Dixon on the carry again. Jarrell Dixon run out of bounds once again by number 50 Guy Moffitt for the Pioneers, but not before he picked up 6 yards for Dixon. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 for Peabody from the Gibson County 49-yard line. 2:27 left here in the third quarter. We've got a 7-6 ball game, both on big plays. One to end the first half, one to begin the second half. We've got a good one going here at Walter Kilser Stadium.
Yes, we are, and right now we got a big back, number 4 Dixon, with the carry as he makes it across, about to the 42-yard line, the 42-yard line, as he makes it out.
Going to be another first down for Peabody. Walter Dixon using his legs, and Drew, I think that Peabody is going to be content with just getting 6 and 8 yards a pop here because they're having some success with that here in the second half, is just running off tackle and running between the tackles between Vargas and Jarrell Dixon there, breaking off big chunks of yardage.
And once again, that is a short carry by Vargas.
And once again, that was closer to us, and I didn't think he got a good spot. We couldn't really say anything on that. It wasn't a few minutes ago because it was on the far side of the field, but I thought Cooper got closer to the 40 than they actually gave him credit for. So it's a pickup of 2 yards, which is positive yardage, but it's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 41-yard line.
And we are back live from Walter Kilser Stadium, and we've had some little technical problems, but we are back up and running. And 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, 7-6.
Drew, I got to ask you, on your drive over tonight, is this what you expected from this ball game?
No, it's what I was hoping.
There you go.
Hoping for a good game.
Well, it's not what I was hoping, but I tell you what, it has reached a lot of expectations for a lot of people on both sides of this stadium tonight.
Cooper Vargas sets back to drop. He looks, he throws. Oh, man, he was lucky. That ball was not intercepted as he was thrown into double coverage, and we've got a player who's slow to get up.
Yeah, that's Hammonds. Hammonds was hit hard on that, threw into double coverage, and Hammonds just couldn't come up with it. He's tough. He comes back up, but And I tell you what, he took a pop there by 2 Pioneer defenders. And once again, this Gibson County Pioneer defense stands up, makes a stop on Peabody, and they're going to make Peabody special teams come on the field again, and Cooper Bogus will be dropping back into punt formation again, hoping to pin the Pioneers back deep.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to check and make sure. 11:57 to go with your score. It is Peabody 7 and Gibson County 6, and nobody would have thought this. I know I didn't. Here on 95.3 WTBG, or excuse me, WNWS, and well, now we are just going to keep on going right now. All right. Hang on a second. All right, we're back. And we are back to streaming, and pardon us for our interruption, but a lot has happened, Lee, and we finally got up and running.
Well, it really has, and when we left you, Gibson County was just getting the ball at midfield. And a big defensive play by Bryce Franks. Bryce Franks with the hit on Ozzie Rico. A big hit on Ozzie Rico, and the ball jarred the ball loose from Rico, and not only did he cause the fumble, he recovered the fumble. So Bryce Franks with the big play there on defense. Now Peabody's offense back at it. 2nd and 9 from the 12-yard line.
And once again, Peabody unable to get any gain on that play. 3rd and 9. Your score is still 7-6. You didn't miss any scoring, ladies and gentlemen, as we had some technical issues. You didn't miss any scoring. It's 8:47 to go in the 4th quarter. Peabody's still up by 1 point, 7-6, but they are driving. They are driving right now, and it is 3rd and 11. We've got number 1, Hammonds, closest to us, as it is a timeout. Timeout, and we will be back in about 30 seconds with more Peabody football here on WNWS.
Do you have cataracts, glaucoma, or any form of eye disease? At Hughes Eye Center, our physicians include residency-trained optometrists, surgical ophthalmologists, retinal surgeons, and oculoplastic surgeons, all right here in Jackson, Tennessee at Hughes Eye Center. There's no need to drive to Memphis or Nashville for your surgical eye care needs. Call 664-1994 to schedule your consultation. At Hughes Eye Center on Stonebridge in Jackson, that's 664-1994.
And we are back live as Peabody comes out of the timeout. And we are back live streaming. And apologies to all your friends out there in Tacoma, Washington, and Lee, but we did have some technical issues, but we've got it back. 8:31, as you can tell by the score. You haven't missed much action. I mean, just a couple big defensive plays on Peabody's part, but we're back. Score's still the same, 7-6. Lee's standing up. He's excited. Bogus takes the snap, goes around to the left end, tries to get around to the first down marker, and did he make it?
No, he's not. Well, they can't get a first down. Remember, they got a first down at the 9-yard line, and then they had a loss of 2, pushing them back to the 11, made it 3rd and goal from the 11. Bogus that time picked up about 5 yards, got down to the 6. But Peabody's going to have 4th down here from around the 7-yard line. 4th down and goal from the 7 for Peabody. Still this Gibson County defense.
Still holding
stonewalled, except for the big play.
Franks. Oh, okay, there we go. Number 19, Isaiah Hicks with a field goal attempt. Mr. Automatic, let's see. Snap, ball goes up, and it is in.
That's a nice job.
Wow.
Peabody got a score out of it. They didn't go down there for nothing. They got 3 points out of it. And we talked about Isaiah Hicks and his point after touchdown extra points, and did a nice job there. And that's a lot of pressure on that sophomore, and he came through perfectly for Peabody, and that puts him up by 4 at 10-6 with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And Drew, now it's going to fall on the Peabody defense.
Yes,
Gibson County defense has played superb all night, with the exception of the long run there by Bogus, 65-yard touchdown run to start this second half. And then Peabody defense came up with a big play to get the ball inside the 30-yard line by Bryce Franks, and Isaiah Hicks with a three-pointer for Peabody. And you know, a lot of people are still surprised by this score, but folks, we've still got a lot of football left in this ball game. 7 minutes and 40 seconds. A lot can happen with these two teams on the field.
And Peabody right now, I would say they have answered the call tonight. They came out, as you noted earlier. This is the longest their starters have played just about all year, or at least for the past month. And it's a nice kick. Fielded by Gibson at about the 15-yard line, and it is taken to the 32-yard line. And that is Familiar Real Estate. Speaking of real estate, how about for residential and commercial real estate? Contact Ed Norman in Trenton. Check out their listings at larealty.com.
Let me throw this name out there. That stop, Desmond Tyler did a good job getting downfield. Also, we see number 2, Cortland Wade, coming off the field. Cortland was a young man that didn't start. He's a normal starter in the secondary for Peabody, out there on that kick coverage team there for Peabody, because the Tide staff knows that they've got to have some stops here. They wanted their best players on that kick coverage team.
All right, pistol formation. 3 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the right, and that's a bubble screen. And, he almost broke it. He almost broke that play, Lee.
Yeah, one broken tackle away from busting that for some big yards.
And that was number 3, Cameron McMackin.
McMackin with the reception from Lamberson. Picked up 6 yards on the play, which is good positive yardage on first down. But, yeah, he was just one step away from making this very interesting.
And here we go. This is a tight ball game, and it's pistol formation. 3 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Lamberton takes the snap, throws to the bubble screen, and it's a big play. And caught everybody napping. Can he outrun the pursuit? And he does. Wow. That is a touchdown by number 3, Cameron McMackin. Whoa. What about that play?
Wow. Nobody saw that one coming, with the exception of those folks wearing white on the Gibson County sideline. What an outstanding play call and great execution there.
Yes, it was.
Peabody had no idea, and that young man was wide open.
Nobody in the stadium. My stars. Gibson County now 12, Peabody 10. And Gibson County having to go for the 2-point conversion. Johnny Johnson doing great work on camera tonight. He's going to get us a nice shot of this attempt. We got 4 wide receivers spread out. Lamberton takes the snap, hands it off to number 31, who was uncontested. That was number 14 on the carry, Will Cantrell, who just ran right through that Peabody defense. A hole that was big enough to drive my terrain through, or excuse me, the missus terrain. And 6:45, and we've got a ball game as Peabody 10 and Gibson County 14. As wow, what a ball game! As we both are busy right now. Dixon, everybody, and just want to tell you, Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness of Trenton, proud supporters of the Golden Tide. Premier Dental Center says Roll Tide, 3 locations in Bells, Jackson, and Milan. Master Fit Medical Supplies, a leading supplier of medical equipment for over 20 years. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. And Hickerson Automotive Group, home of the Napa Legend Battery, Trenton's Napa Auto Parts Store. What a game. And Peabody right now. Peabody.
Drew, that's just a big play. You know, Gibson County has had some big plays throughout the course of this season. I've watched film on Gibson County. I know the staff has watched film on Gibson County. That is something that they threw out there for this ball game. They've had it in their playbook. They've just been waiting on the perfect time to run it, and they picked the perfect time to run it. This Peabody defense was completely fooled on that screen pass or that bubble pass to the far sideline, and McMacken was wide open for 6 for this Pioneer lead, 14-10.
Gibson kicks off, line drive, goes to the back, and that is number 4, Dixon, who gets the ball out to the 30-yard line, and he's hit pretty hard. So he took a shot right to his back. And that was on the play, trying to get a number on that. It looked like, yeah, that was number 4, Dixon. 6:42 to go. In the fourth quarter, it is Gibson 14, Peabody 10. And we got players starting to cramp up.
Yeah, both teams have had some players go down. That's a big one right there for Gibson County, as you see it on your screen. Noah Stafford is a tremendous defensive player. He's been a headhunter on this Pioneer defense tonight from his middle linebacker position. He's got cramps a couple of times in the last couple of minutes. He's also the punter, as they're going to get him out, get him some rest, try and get him some fluids in him, and get him ready for the last few minutes of this fourth quarter.
Kyle Robinson, number 88, coming in for him. You might want to go after the guy with the clean uniform. All right, Bogus, 3 wide receivers out to his right, 1 to his left. He keeps the ball, runs in between the tackles, makes it to the 35, to the 40, 45, and 50-yard line. 20-yard gain on the play as Peabody, they're playing for real, Lee. They're playing for real.
Oh, it definitely so, and that's a nice job by Cooper Bogus, just pulling it down and running. Hayden McGuire and Jake Patterson on that tackle there. But a big pickup for Peabody. That's going to get them to midfield, trailing by 4 here with 6 minutes left in the ball game.
All right, Bogus. He keeps the ball again. He runs it to the 50-yard line, and he's stopped. No gain on the play.
They're going to that well, Drew, and Gibson County, you know, they've had some big stops. Cooper Bogus is an outstanding runner from his quarterback position, and as he just picked up a first down, but that time only a 1-yard pickup. Jarrell Dixon back in here. They're getting some of these guys some rest, and they know the same things that we do, that these kids have not played a full 4 quarters, and they're trying to eliminate the risk of those cramps.
Dixon takes the ball, kicks across the 50, the 45, and he's at about the 42-yard line of Gibson County as number 88, Kyle Robinson, on the tackle, along with number 11, Matthew Watson, and Noah Stafford coming back into the ball game.
Nice run there for Peabody, pickup of 8 yards. That's going to make it 3rd and 1 for Peabody from the Gibson County 41-yard line.
Gibson County got their horses up. They are running the ball, it looks like. Spread the defense out, 2 wide receiver, and hands it off to Dixon again, who makes it across the line of scrimmage for a first down.
He didn't get much, but he got enough. They needed 1 for the first down, and Jarrell Dixon got 2, so Peabody's going to have a new set of downs inside the 40-yard line. Clock continuing to run. We're under 5 minutes here left in this ball game. Gibson County up 14-10, but Peabody on the move here, inching towards the red zone against these Pioneers.
All right. Is it my imagination, or the bugs around here getting bigger?
Yeah, this cool weather brought the bugs out.
All right, here we go. Dixon comes across the line of scrimmage. as he gets the handoff, and he makes a good 8-yard gain as they found a slashing hole right there in that defensive line. And I believe they're going after Stafford's side of the defense.
Well, they're
finally
opening some holes there. The Peabody offensive line. This Gibson County front four has been tremendous all night. Their linebackers have been making some plays. Gibson County is going to get a timeout here. Just over 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Gibson County trying to come up with some big stops here.
Noah Stafford cramping up once again as Gibson County, and you're right, they are coming up with some big stops. And ladies and gentlemen, let's once again thank our sponsors here at WNWS.com. How about you can insure a win with Vale & Estes Insurance Agency, your independent insurance dealer of Trenton. Make your house a home with Anderson Furniture and Floor Covering. The Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. Trenton Medical Clinic, your hometown health provider. Rockin' Dough Pizza, featuring a Saturday and Sunday brunch. Rock out with a Rockin' Dough Pizza. King Jewelers and Watch Repair in Jackson. Find them on Facebook. And for residential and commercial real estate, contact Ed Norman in Trenton. Check out their listings at larealty.com. Eddie's Pharmacy, serving the Gibson County area for 35 years. Sonic, 6 locations in Jackson. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, a proud supporter of the Tide. Time back in, 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Peabody on the move. Boggess brings the Peabody offense back up to the line of scrimmage. Pistol formation. Takes the snap, hands it off to Dixon. Dixon busts over 2 defenders for Gibson County, and he has another Peabody first down.
Yeah, big run there by Dixon, Jarrell Dixon. I almost called him Walter. Walter was his dad, was an excellent running back here at Peabody back a few years ago. But nice job there by Jarrell. Got the first down for Peabody. Clock continuing to move. Drew, WBBJ made this their game of the week. Do you think that was a good call?
I believe it was a very good call. Here we go. Boggess keeps the ball as he runs, and he twists, and he gets hit pretty hard.
Yeah, he does. Give him credit there of just holding on to the ball. He got stood up after a pickup of about 4, and then the safety came in and lowered the boom. Let's see. He's starting to get some mud on the jerseys. It looked like Colin Warren came in and got a nice lick on Cooper Boggess, but Cooper did a good job protecting the ball. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 for Peabody from the 24-yard line of the Pioneers.
3rd and 17, and here we go. Peabody. Pistol formation, sends a man in motion. Boggess takes the ball, hands it off to Dixon, and Dixon just runs right into the line, and he is stopped. Brings up 3rd down and about 4 yards. 3rd and 4. Now we are in a must-have situation, but this is 4-down territory.
Well, yeah, you got 2 shots. It's third down and about 6.5 to go for Peabody. And I'll tell you what else they're doing. They've got to score. They're down by 4. A field goal is not going to do you any good. They've got to score a touchdown. But they certainly don't want to leave any time on this clock either for Gibson County. So they got to come up with some plays on the offense.
Boggess, shotgun formation. Takes the ball himself, goes around to the right end, cuts the corner, gets the first down, and he is out of bounds.
That's a nice job by Cooper Boggess there. He was reading that defensive end, reading that safety to see where he would go. And when that quarterback took a step inside, Cooper cut it outside, picked up the first down for Peabody. And Drew, Peabody's back in business inside the 15-yard line. It looks to be about the 12, and we're coming up on the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
Clock's been running fast. 9:34 p.m. is the time. 2:24 left to go in the game. And Peabody on the move at the 13-yard line. Boggess hands the ball off to Dixon, who gets hit and wrapped up in the backfield. And on the tackle, number 21, Stafford.
Yeah, I don't think Jarrell even got back to the line of scrimmage there. They got a pretty good spot out of it. So lost about a foot, looks like, across the way, but seemed more like about a yard. But nice job.
What about the motor on this young man, Stafford?
Yeah, he's a player. And we knew coming in he's one of their leading tacklers from his linebacker position, and he's had an outstanding ball game tonight.
Boggess takes the ball, cuts it up the middle, and he makes his way to about the 8-yard line. And once again, on the tackle, number 11, and that is Matthew Watson.
That's similar to the play that Bogus picked up the first down on just a few minutes ago. He's reading the defense and see where they're making see where the defense is going, where the linebackers are going. Then he's making his cut when he needs to. Did a good job there, picked up about 6 yards. 3rd down and 5, and Gibson County wants to talk about it, Drew.
All right, let's send a shout out to Megan Floyd. She's the homecoming queen for 2018, and this has been a homecoming game. I tell you, this has been a great ball game.
Boy, I tell you, she's got a good one to watch as homecoming queen, does she not?
Oh yeah,
it's a big week for Peabody, and congratulations to that young lady. She's a member of the Peabody Band of Gold, and involved in a lot of aspects of Peabody High School and the community. And so congratulations to Megan and all of those young ladies who represented Peabody High School in the homecoming court. But
going to IHOP after dinner?
We're not sure where we're going. Yeah, we're going to eat something, but we just don't know from where yet. We'll figure that out after the game.
Definitely worked up an appetite tonight.
Most definitely.
Minute 33 left to go in the game. Peabody driving, and they've got the ball. 3rd and 6, ball at their 8-yard line. And the crowd standing behind them. This is a big stand for both teams. As number 4, Dixon's in the backfield with Bogus. 3 wide receivers. Frank's on the end. And Bogus rolls out. He's rolling. Throws it. Has a man. Incomplete pass. Oh, incomplete.
Nice catch over there on the sideline by Hammonds.
But he was out of bounds.
The officials call him out of bounds.
And Bogus, all night long he's been rolling out, and he's had somebody on him.
Well, Bryce
Stafford rushed that pass.
Yeah, nice pressure there by Stafford as he goes down with cramps again. But Bryce Franks was open across the middle, but Bogus didn't see him as he was rolling to his left. He did find Hammonds in the corner. Hammonds just, he gave it an effort. He came up with the catch, but he was about a foot out of bounds.
4th and 6. They have to make it to the 2-yard line for the first down. So they can either go for the, timeout. Gibson County says, hold up there, swolled up. We want to talk about it. All right, Lee. You're the coach, Peabody. What are you going to do? Are you going to go for the first down?
I'm going to call on my assistant coach to call a play. Well, you got to go. You got to go for it here. You got 4th down and 6 from the 9-yard line. They can still get a first down without scoring. So they got, they're at about the 8-yard line. So they can get a first down at the 2. So they don't have to have a touchdown here, but you got to pick up 6 yards. A field goal's not going to do you any good. So you got to have positive yards here. You've got some weapons that we talked about. Gibson County has done a tremendous job shutting down Noah Halbrook. Hammonds has had some success as he showed there with that catch diving, but the official said he didn't get his foot down in bounds. Been very effective running the ball, Jarrell Dixon and Bogus, but I tell you, all the credit goes to this Gibson County defense. Can they make, and do they have one more stop in them here on 4th down for Peabody from the 8-yard line?
Watch out for number 10, for number 21 and number 3 at Gibson County. Watch out for those 2 players. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Johnson been working camera all night long. I know he's going to get us a nice shot of this. Lee, this right here could be the ball game. We got a shotgun formation. Hammond all by himself, closest to us. Number 7, Halbrook in the slot. Parks. Oh, now.
Yeah, Peabody going to get a timeout. That's a good call. They wanted to see what defense Gibson County came in on. Let me ask you this question. I'll throw it back at you, Coach Drew.
All right.
Would you try and draw Gibson County offsides and make it 4th and 1 instead of 4th and 6, or would you just run your play?
I would try to draw them off because I got 1 timeout left, and I can call a timeout.
But if you jump, as we did earlier in the year, then you got 4th and 11.
Then I'd pass it. I'd pass it then. And
we're just glad we're sitting up here in the air conditioning when it's hot, when it's dry, when it's raining, when it's warm, when it's cold, and the coaches are the ones making those decisions.
That's right. But me, myself, I'd try to draw them off, call timeout. But if I jumped, I'd pass the ball. But personally, I'd go for that first down. I'd hand it off to Dixon.
Well, it's been successful, and they've had some success with that here in the second half.
And I'd run towards Stafford's side. Stafford, bless his heart, he's worn out.
But he still made some plays.
Oh, yeah. I'd put 3. I'd go heavy on that side. But here we go. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers to the right. Vargas rolling out. He's got a man coming up behind him. And
first down. That's Noah Albrook. Gibson County has done such a super job all night long of taking Noah Albrook out of this ball game. And on 4th down and 6, Cooper Vargas finds Albrook.
And look who's
run out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
And look who's coming in. Number 6, Aubrey, coming in.
Well, they're going to put in their jumbo package.
Yeah.
Jasper, his sophomore year, Jasper was an outstanding running back, and then he had the knee issue last year that we talked about. They're going to put him in for some more blocking here at his tight end position.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Vargas gets the call, hands it off to Dixon, and Dixon is stopped with a loss of yards. And on the play, and we've got a player down, but they ran towards Stafford's side of the line. Stafford, though, he's up. Number 31 also on that play. That is Hayden McGuire. And I just think this young man just got caught underneath the trample. I just think he got trampled.
Well, it was a heck of a stop. That's a big stop by the Pioneer defense. Yeah. Loss of 1 for Peabody, actually a loss of 1.5. Moves it back to the 2-yard line. That young man is up, so he's okay. He's going to make his way off the field under his own power.
Dude, he just got caught on the bottom of the pile.
That's a big deal. Hey, I tell you what, these guys are worn out.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 100% from both teams. It's been a hard-hitting ball game. It's a cool night. And the field does play a part in these cramps that we've been having. And it's like running in sand when you're muddy running in this soggy field. And as the night has gone on, the field has gotten worse.
2nd and goal. Vargas has got his sure hands team out to the near side, closest to us. Both number 6, Hallbrook and Hammonds. Dixon in the backfield. Frank's on the end. Vargas keeps the ball. Jumps over the goal line.
He fumbled. Let's see what they call.
Gibson County now.
They're going to call him down. He did. The ball did come loose as Vargas tried to dive over the top of the pile, and they're saying that his knee was down when that ball came loose. So Vargas gets back to where first down started inside the 1-yard line.
And we got 34 seconds. Referee says keep running the clock.
They're running the clock, and we've got injured players on the field.
All right, now the clock.
They've got to put some time back on the clock. About 8 seconds ran off the clock there with Gibson County having some injured players on the field. So I think they need to put some seconds back on the clock in that situation.
And both sides right now are booing.
Yeah, it's not good when both of them are booing.
He did fumble the ball.
He did fumble the ball. And the officials said he was down. The officials called him down. Who am I to argue with officials?
I like how they come to you. Like, is it real?
Oh, me.
Oh, Lee, I tell you what. Are you going to be able to eat tonight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shoot, yeah. When I leave here after the Gibson County Band performs, we'll see some folks and get to see my kids and see the family and eating. I don't have any. I do have this question for you. I don't see anybody now. Here we are in a 14-10 ball game. 29 seconds left. Peabody has the ball on about the half-yard line, and we're seeing taillights go up the boulevard. Who could be leaving this ball game in this situation?
Unless they're jockeying. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they're just trying to beat the crowd.
I guess so, but
you think their vehicles have internet access and they're watching on NWS?
Probably. I mean, they probably are. They probably got Wi-Fi or on streaming, but unless it's just parents waiting to pick kids up. I mean, I don't know, Lee. I haven't even thought about going home yet. They're putting time back on the clock right now. And, now it's running. It's 26 seconds.
They're going to
All
put,
right.
yeah, they're going to put a few seconds.
Wait a minute.
They're trying to signal up here to the press box and get a few seconds put back on.
I got a feeling these young men are going to be talking about this game 20 years from now.
What a ball game it's been.
Yeah.
I tell you what, a lot of people will be surprised by this score, whether Peabody scores here or not to take the lead, and depending on what happens after that. But if Peabody does score here, give all the credit in the world to Gibson County for a well-played ball. And I will say this, they didn't come over here to try and keep it close.
No,
they came over here to win this ball game.
Yeah. Here we go. Bogus, shotgun formation, takes the ball himself, and he's stopped again as he runs right into the arms of that defensive unit, and I cannot see who made the play. 4th and 10.
No timeouts left. What do you do here? 4th down.
They're taking a final timeout.
Got one timeout.
You were saying Gibson County come over here not to keep this game close, but to win.
Yeah, they didn't come over here for any moral victories. They come over here to win this ball game, and they're very close to doing that. We've got one shot for Peabody from inside the 3-yard line. I'd say about the 2.5-yard line. 4 seconds left. 4th down. This is it, Drew.
Yeah.
If Peabody stops if Gibson County stops this Peabody offense on this 4th down, they go back to the north end of the county as victors and in first place of Region 7-2A. For Peabody, a lot at stake here. They're trying to stake their claim as in the top spot of Region 7-2A. They're defending their home turf, and they've got an open week bye week or an open date coming up next week. They're on fall break. They want to punch it in here. They want this win. But as I was saying for Gibson County, Coach Finley, he doesn't want moral victories. His players don't want moral victories, and this team has played well enough to win this ball game tonight.
Well, here we go, Lee. This is the ball game. 14-10, 4 seconds to go. No timeouts left. Ball at the 2-yard line. Bogus in the backfield. Dixon on his right side. 2 wide receivers to the left. Man in motion. Bogus hands it off to Dixon, and Dixon runs it across the line, and he is stopped. He is stopped. And he can't believe it. He's still on the ground. He's getting up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the ball game as Gibson County hangs on and wins with a fine defensive stand. Fine defensive stand. Both teams played their hearts out, Lee, and it is a shame. And look, Dixon right now he's got a cramp right now. Both teams, it's a shame both teams somebody had to lose.
Well,
somebody had to lose.
Physically demanding football game, Drew, and as the teams line up to shake hands, and yes, Darrell's still down there at about the 2-yard line. It's not an injury. He's got cramps, and we saw cramps from both teams here in this 4th quarter. And I said right before that play, it's going to come down to this one play, and Gibson County didn't come over here for a moral victory. They came over here to win this ball game, and they did that. They had a couple of big plays. Peabody had one big play and a field goal, and Gibson County with an outstanding defensive stop and a defensive stand in the last 3 minutes of the ball game. Peabody went for it on 4th down inside the 10-yard line or at the 8-yard line and got a first down and put them at the 1. Then this Gibson County defense rose to the occasion, stopped Peabody's offense cold on 4 tries from inside the 2-yard line. Gibson County has now defeated Peabody for the first time since 1994 and done it by a score of 14-10, and they are atop Region 7-2A with a 3-0 record, 6-1 record overall. You don't think these fans over here are excited about this? You don't think this 7-mile drive and 10-mile drive to Rutherford and Yorkville and Spring Hill, you don't think these fans are excited about this? This is what it's all about. Now, I love Peabody football, and you know I do. Yeah. But this is what high school football is all about. Congratulations to Cody Finley and our friends out of Gibson County for this big victory, as you see some of their fans coming out onto the field to enjoy it with their football team. And I wasn't sure how good Gibson County was going to be, Drew. They showed me a lot of things tonight out of this football team. Let's see what they're.
All right.
Let me dig around.
Well, you dig around. I'm gonna go over to sponsors.
All right.
All right. Tonight's game was brought to you by Trenton Peabody. Premier Dental. Also, Master Fit Medical Supply, Outback Steakhouse, Anderson Furniture and Floor Covering, Trenton Medical Clinic, the Hughes Eye Group, Sonic of Jackson, King Jewelers and Watch Repair, Rockin' Dough Pizza, LA Realty, Eddie's Pharmacy, Raspberry Tire and Service Center, Phelan Estes Insurance, Hickerson Automotive Group, Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness. And real quick, Lee, any real quick?
Yeah, Gibson County takes over and stays in first place of Region 7 2A. Some big ball games coming up for Gibson County. They've got 4 ball games left on the schedule, all of those regional games. Next week they'll be playing Union City. We haven't heard anything from Union City and TCA tonight. Then Gibson County is going to play TCA. Then they go to McKenzie to close out the season. So, I'm sorry, 3 games left. They go to McKenzie to close out the season. So some big ball games coming up for Gibson County, for Peabody. They're going to have an open date next week.
That's right.
And then they'll have McKenzie at home on senior night for October the 11th. And then they close out with 2 road trips at TCA and at Adamsville.
That's right.
A lot's going to happen in the next 4 weeks in Region 7 2A.
Well, all right. Well, we've got to go. And once again, we'd like to thank you, Lee. Happy birthday. Johnny, I know you're tired. You've been up on your feet all night. Johnny Johnson doing the camera work. And thank you, WNWS.com, and thank you to all our sponsors. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Once again, it's Peabody and Gibson 14, Peabody 10. Thank you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.